Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Mr. Bepic channel where we are kicking off the newly rebranded Tuesday Night Light. It's been on Fridays before, it's been on Mondays before, and now it's on Tuesdays. And of course, we're starting Tuesday Night Lights off with an SEL versus Great Lakes rivalry night. It's gonna be a fun time, and kicking off the show with me, kicking off all of Tuesday Night Lights with me, I got Mr. Dronis. Dronis, my man, back from Alaska. First of all, how was your trip? Second of all, how are you doing?
I mean, Alaska, it's beautiful. It's beautiful state. I mean, it seems like you're just in a completely different country almost. It's incredible. First time I've been up there, went with some family, and it was amazing. But now back Tuesday Night Lights. I mean, it's fresh. We're here.
Yep.
We have a great night. I mean, it's gonna be a ton of fun, a lot of different casters coming in as usual, a lot of different matchups to be happening, but a beauty to start us off.
Absolutely. Auburn actually playing with a sub tonight. Hums and Dreskel are the two core players on the Auburn roster that if you keep up with my stream you'll be familiar with. But they had some roster issues like an hour ago. So subbing in valiantly for them here is Adrift from East Tennessee. And against Purdue, I really don't know how they're going to fare, because you bring in someone random from a completely different school, you're sacrificing a bit of team chem. But Adrift is a really good player, so this will be the regular Purdue roster, Plain Duck and Enchanted, and like I said, this could be a 4-0, this could be Game 7, I honestly have no idea. So we're starting off in the most chaotic fashion, Dronis.
I mean, it's already an interesting match looking at, the Boilermakers of Purdue versus the Tigers of Auburn. It already looks very interesting, but now just throwing Adrift into the mix it's kind of insane, but you know what? That's always sometimes how it goes, and fortunately Adrift was there to make the substitution for Auburn. So we'll see how it plays out. I know I am very excited to see how the Boilermakers fare in this one. I know Auburn, they've been making great leaps kind of in the summer, been making a lot of some great strides on their team. So it'll be interesting to see how they do with Adrift, but I'm excited to get underway.
All right. Away we go with the SEL versus Great Lakes rivalry night number 3. Actually, it's Physix, not Hums and Dreskel. I misspoke earlier. Physix is a former A-team member, and he's played on the team this semester. He's playing in this challenge for Auburn. So I'll show the schedule if you haven't seen it yet. A little bit later, in between games 1 and 2, if I remember. But Lord knows I might not remember. So we'll see the full schedule. Check my Twitter if you don't know it. But at the moment, it is all Purdue on the pitch right now. They have all the pressure on Auburn, which makes sense. I mean, early goings a game when you would expect the team that's more used to playing with one another, and maybe a little bit better on paper as well, to have all the agency, and there you go, they're scoring first as well.
Yeah, Enchanted is a guy who's just so fun to watch, carrying this one all the way downfield. Physix getting bumped by Plain, and then Adrift, no boost to get back around it. So a clean start for Purdue, really just leading the possession game thus far.
And Auburn is going to have to change that. Auburn plus Adrift, which I feel I'm just going to call Auburn for tonight. I trust you all to know that Adrift is subbing in. I expect you all to be either big fans of East Tennessee or big fans of Auburn. But either way, Auburn needing to fix their possession problems. And Dreskel's going to try. It's a nice 50-50. He gets through one and a second as well. A demo on the backside nearly opened up a scoring opportunity, but Duck did respawn and get to the goal line in time to prevent it, though. Auburn, it seems like they're fixing their issues, Dronis.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen more and more as time goes on. As the series progresses, I'm assuming we're going to see Auburn look better and better as a unit, getting used to Adrift on the pitch. Physix, rotating in as well, and Dreskel, kind of being that centerpiece for the Tigers in this one. But I'm assuming their offense is going to get stronger. Their possession game, they're going to, work a little bit more on the rotations as time goes on. It's sure to be a great matchup.
Physix in the Cybertruck as well. That went unmentioned throughout the first 2 minutes of gameplay. I respect it. It's the first time I've casted a Cybertruck, so first time for me here. I'll see if you can do anything with it. But it's Adrift and Dreskel combining for a play out. Plain back on the goal line, does well, and Ducks follow up even better. prevent Auburn from immediately putting a good shot on target. Nice bump to prevent a counterattack from Purdue, and we're just back and forth right now, fighting for possession, though Auburn have been in the more difficult defensive positions so far relative to Purdue.
Yeah, they really have. Enchanted has so far been the only Purdue player to put shots on target, but a good bit of pressure surmounting, and it's been tough to stop Enchanted, of course. When he's able to get that time and space, really can become a lethal offensive player. But on the defense, bit of a mistake there, as Auburn maybe getting a little bit of freebie here off the backflip.
Well, Drift beats 2 on the near side. Driscoll puts a light shot on. It's a tough ball to get with power on target, considering the angle that he was coming at, and it just froze the defense. So, whatever works for Auburn, I suppose. And they will tie us up with 2 minutes left to play, plus a double demo, but Duck has access to the ball, so hopefully Auburn can recover from taking out 2 Purdue players. And they do. It's control, but Purdue get a shot. That's very nearly on target, though stays out.
The Drift trying to send it back the other way. You get one. Try and add on the second. Keep that momentum going. Try and find yourselves a lead plane. Trying to fake it low, and it works out. We're able to go under Driscoll, and fortunately, Fizik's just left alone at the goal line. Not much you could do, so some high IQ play from Plane.
That's perfect. Because Fizik's expecting just a neutral 50-50 at worst from Driscoll, attacking that ball right there. And instead, Plane plays the dunk rather than the challenge, which gets past both defenders that were in proper position. So, Purdue, they use their brains to get themselves back out in front, and Plane will look to use his mechanics to extend the lead, but Fizik's on the goal line for Auburn does well to keep this game one manageable.
Yeah, in the first half of this game, it's really been Plane on the defensive side. It's been really where he's standing, has had a lot of saves. That one not quite getting recorded for number 4, but he's been looking really solid on the defensive end. Now a mind game gets past 2. Gonna get the shot on Noah Drift even with no boost left. Able to make the save of Plane. Looking very dangerous on the pitch for Purdue.
Drift, good beat right there. He's able to stifle Plane's dangerousness in counterattack mode. But here he goes again, playing in the offensive zone. He can make highly mechanical plays happen. One of the more viewed clips on my channel is a clip of Plane getting, I think it was a flip reset in the Jeep Wrangler in a Monday Night Lights show match against UNCC.
Oh my word.
And he sets up Enchanted to make it 3-1 Purdue. So there you go.
I mean, he just makes it look so easy. Drives down off the sidewall, flicks past 2, bumps a Drift, and gives it on a silver platter to Enchanted. So Purdue up by 2 with just 42 left to go.
Look, if Fizik's and Driscoll keep doing stuff like that, Drift's going to message me after this show match and be like, what did you get me into? Because that double commit, both going into the corner, was not good. And Purdue's too good a team not to take advantage of that mistake. So they're going to have to clean it up. Auburn will. That's Purdue playing solid, but I don't feel like they took full advantage of all of their opportunities, and at times got awkward in defense. So we'll see who upgrades their play in Game 2. If Purdue keeps it up, or if Auburn finds a rebound game, if they don't score twice here in the final 10 seconds, which is not looking like they're going to do as Duck and Purdue clear the zone.
Yeah, just a couple of rotational mistakes really from Auburn again. Expecting those to see less of them as the series goes on, but you got to give credit to Purdue when it's due as they do take advantage of those mistakes. Of course, Plane leading the charge all around the field. Enchanted doing well on the offensive end. Very, very typical looking stat sheet for Purdue.
Yeah, it was simple for them. Just don't commit too many mistakes defensively, and then trust yourselves on the offensive side of the ball. So Purdue looking good in Game 2, where Auburn has to recover lest Purdue extend their newly gained series lead. And I forgot to show the schedule, so just a heads up, Indiana Tech and Texas playing next if you are interested in sticking around for that. Anyone watching right now, as Purdue is trying to make quick work of this series. They'll be scoring first in Game 2. They just beat Auburn at every point to that ball.
I mean, they're gonna leave some dents in the posts and crossbars. They were all over it there, and you know, Auburn, eventually the defense is gonna fall through, and that it did. Enchanted being the one to get the final punish for the Boilermakers. 10 seconds gone, they're already finding themselves a lead.
Driscoll's got a little bit of room to work with here. Out of the corner plane, though, takes it all away. So Driscoll waits downfield for Fizik's pass, and out to Enchanted to defend the play, which he won't. He'll let Duck take over from there on the near side, though. Duck can't get multiple touches. That gives Adrift some space to work with. He finds Fizix, who chips it back to Adrift, but Enchanted was prepared for that play. Keen defense out of Purdue, and Auburn finds a shot at the end of the play, but it's a bit of a weak one. That one a little bit better, but stopped immediately at the point of contact, though the third try is much better, but too high. Auburn, the opportunity going by the wayside.
Might have another look here. Plane does sweep it away into the corner. Not enough boost to keep it going. Driscoll finds the opening and eventually will walk this one in. It's not a heater. It's not a power shot, but able to just kind of thread through the defense. Plane no touch there. Duck caught out. Enchanted caught out as well. Both with 0 boost, and Driscoll takes it home.
And that description of Driscoll's goal right there sums up how Auburn scored in the previous game as well. It wasn't a heater, didn't have any power on it, but it got through Purdue's defense. There are just these moments where there's a big gap on their back line. Auburn did well to wear down the rotations of the Boilermakers and level us up, but Purdue's response in the last game was what got them that Game 1 win. It just took control of the possession game, kept it, and didn't really relinquish it all that much in the last couple of minutes. So we'll see that happens again, but it's Auburn with the opportunity now. Fizik's an open back wall that Plane will cut down.
You saw a lot of awkwardness between Plane and Enchanted on that last sequence. I mean, Purdue is one of those teams where they can beat great teams. I mean, looking back to, CCS Season 3, where Purdue, they were the 4 seed out of the Midwest, and they ended up eliminating Kansas in that tournament bracket, which was absolutely insane. When this team locks in, they can be so dangerous. Enchanted down to Duck will reclaim the lead, but I think they just need to stay on top of themselves.
I think that does represent what it comes down to for Purdue, because they can have those big wins, but they can find themselves in poor positions as well. That show match I referenced earlier, the UNCC versus Purdue one, they were up 3-1 in that series and let the Niners come back and end up winning that series in Game 7. So it's always a matter of which Purdue shows up, and I think we got the really good Purdue tonight. They look solid at the moment. These plays where they get a little bit of speed and momentum in the offensive zone, they are picking Auburn apart. And another opportunity now, it's going to be a speed play, but Duck was ready for a pass down the field and found a little bit of pressure on the Auburn near post defense, though the Tigers did find it clear.
Handed back down the other way, long shot off the mark. Good patience from Driscoll, not able to secure any boost. Adrift, good read, good speed. We'll be able to clear it away for a moment, trying to get the offense working. Under halftime here to go. Duck spots an opening, not enough power. Driscoll almost an own goal off the near post, and then Fizik's put it above the crossbar. A little bit scary there for Auburn, but they come out unscathed.
Oh, Auburn still going to get scored on, though. I was going to go down a different path there, but Enchanted changed the narrative real fast. They don't care. They missed out on the open nets that their fourth man nearly scored earlier, and just get right back to business. They find the gap on the goal line and find another 3-1 lead. It was the end result in Game 1, and Purdue, another insurance goal, taken to the final 2 minutes, Game 2.
Yeah, Enchanted having 100% goal participation so far in this game. Pretty constant story that we always see. Really seems to be that offensive leader for the Boilermakers. Duck looking for the corner read, can't quite put it on target, and Plane and Enchanted maybe didn't trust him with, as they were kind of far back at the midfield line. A battle there now for possession. Driscoll gets it into the corner, finds a demo. Adrift tees that one off of Duck all the way to the far side. It falls to Enchanted, and Purdue gonna try and head back the other side.
Oh, Adrift's been bumped, though. Fizix has no boost. Duck, with the little boost he has, finds a shot that ricochets off the corner of Auburn's net. Purdue still looking dangerous in transition mode, though right now forced to play off the side walls, and Fizix on the back wall. Decent defense. It's still sketchy, which that's the Auburn style of Rocket League and has been for several years now. I've watched a lot of Auburn Rocket League, being an alum and involved with the program, and they always like giving you heart attacks. So down by 2 in the final minute, sending one off the crossbar that fits.
Yeah, that crossbar is giving Auburn a lot of trouble so far in this series. Might have had a couple more opportunities if they were able to put them away. Maybe this game could be tied. Isaacs, another chance. Enchanted shuts it down. Another double committed drift, snipes the far corner, and Auburn will be back within one.
Okay, hey, maybe there's something to be said about this newly formed for one night only Auburn team. Adrift getting on the board, his first time of this best of 7, and with 34 seconds left, it is more than possible that Auburn pulls off this comeback, but they've got to stay solid here. There have been gaps in their defensive rotations. It's obvious this is not a trio that is very used to playing with each other for obvious reasons, but even Driscoll and Isaacs, who do go to the same school, I don't think are too used to playing with each other. So I'll have to dig deep here in the final moments of Game 2, and they've got an opportunity now.
Yeah, and it really doesn't help when you're playing a team like Purdue, who they just love to be disruptors. They like to get in the face of their opponents. They like to bump. They like to demo. They like to just put shots on target until the defense crumbles. Now, Plain looking to kill this one. It's kept alive, but Driscoll pushes up just a bit too far. It falls, and Purdue up 2-0 in the series.
Okay, I mean, Purdue did what they had to do to win. Right there. Unfortunately, I would have liked them to keep the ball up on 0 seconds, but they're not being showmen tonight, unfortunately. Just handling business at the moment, which makes sense. Great Lakes, they have yet to outright win a rivalry night with the SEL. The first one we had was 3-1 in favor of the SEL. Second one was 2-2, and then we tied in game differential as well. So no win for really either side. And tonight, Great Lakes, they mean business. They have got good chances to win tonight. And I mean, Purdue, so far so good. 2-0 series lead. The end of game 2 got a little bit hairy, but 14 shots to 6, I think, sums that game up well in favor of the Boilermakers.
Yeah, I think they're just going to keep up that pressure. I'm not expecting them to slow down by any metric, and I think that's exactly what they need to do to win as well. They just kind of need to keep Auburn back on their heels. They need to be that aggressive team that they always have in Auburn. If they don't speed it up, if they don't match that pace, they might go down in the sweep here.
Isaacs began to turn up field, but collects that ball on top of his Cybertruck, though Enchanted quick to challenge him in his offensive zone. Duck with 30 boost to the corner. The ball passed Adrift, and Driscoll was awkward at the midfield line, so Auburn has to give up the territory that they just gained and still play the ball a little bit awkwardly on their defensive side. It's sketchy, but they make it work. Adrift finds a big clear.
Now Enchanted off the ceiling, back down to Plain, rolled on target. What a play developed by Purdue. Plain to Enchanted, the give and go from the ceiling. Just a snappy roller on target. Driscoll caught out. Isaacs couldn't get there, and Purdue again taking early lead.
That is extremely impressive car control by Enchanted. To put that ball perfectly in front of Plain is so impressive considering how he was coming off the ceiling right there. And Purdue, in impressive fashion, are once again going to score the first goal of Game 3, picking up right where they left off at the end of Game 2, and just trying to get this series over and done with quickly. And on the goal line, takes out Isaacs, but Purdue can't immediately put a shot on. Plain gets some space in the corner, but that's all he'll see.
Yeah, Duck just keeping control of that possession. Isaac's not going to let him go easily. The 50 to the far side. Drift not too happy with the demos coming out from Purdue. Isaac's looking for a solo play. Not able to put that one through the wickets. Enchanted the far side. Goes right by it. Driscoll trying to turn around. Now the pace picking up from both sides. Exchanging possession and offensive control. But no one really able to stay on the ball for too long.
On the pass mid. Purdue using passing plays at the moment to cut down Auburn, though Driscoll was keen to that last play. Duck now off the sidewall, takes a ceiling pinch lightly to the Auburn back wall, and finds Driscoll look to combine for a clear, but they only get to the midfield line. So Enchanted puts another shot on, and that one is saved by Adrift. Who just went for Purdue? It's a 2v1 the other way. Finds it to Driscoll, stopped momentarily. Adrift looks for Driscoll across the Purdue box, but even that doesn't connect for Auburn.
Yeah, Enchanted so well known for his offense, but definitely able to step up on that defense too, winning that 2v1 triple commit for the Tigers. Adrift able to get back down to Arena to the sidewall. Driscoll pre-flip all the way downfield. That's going to give Auburn a little bit of time, a little bit of space, but Plain finding more demos. Enchanted tries the mind game adrift. Has possession, looking for 5-6 in the midfield. Finds him, shot on target. Plain easily able to deal back into the corner. You like to see the passing play starting to develop from Auburn, but just not able to have enough. Another double commit. Enchanted looking to take it all the way home. That he does. Finishes it with a reset.
That's clean. 5 to Driscoll. They both go for that ball. Enchanted doesn't matter. He doesn't care that the double commit tried to stop the beginning of his solo play. He takes it over Adrift, who was being harassed by other Purdue members, and the Boilermakers find themselves another 2-goal lead, now in 3 consecutive games. So it's up to Auburn in the waning moments of Game 3 to once again find a way back, and we'll see if they can do it, but they gotta play together just a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we, expected that the teamwork wasn't going to be on Plain with, the main Auburn roster. But speaking of Plain, he's able to put one away here. Driscoll, just a big miss, and Plain, just a quick flick on target, makes it nice and simple. Purdue up 3, still taking advantage of all these mistakes.
2 minutes left. I keep holding out hope that the mistakes will dissolve from Auburn's game, but Purdue, I'm certain, not wishing the same, as they are doing so well to punish those openings that are being created in the Auburn zone by the Auburn defense. And Enchanted trying to create some more space, sets up Duck for a great opportunity on target that is saved by 5-6 and cleared away by the Auburn defense. 100 seconds left here in Game 3, and you really feel like this is a must-win for Auburn.
Yeah, they need to find some way to claw their way back into this one. Otherwise, Purdue, they're just going to be, sitting in the driver's seat more than comfortable enough. They'll have 4 games, 4 chances to just take this series, and I don't think they're going to let that go too easily. 5-6, again, you like to see the attempts on the passing plays there, but a little bit just too obvious on where he was going to go. It's intercepted, a drift, big 50 in the back wall. Duck trying to get it safely to Enchanted. That he does. Driscoll, no boost on the 50. Still evened out. Another evened out 50. Enchanted cuts it down low. 50 after 50 happening in this one spot. Eventually, Purdue will escape, and time just seems to be ticking down so quick.
That's a nice start to a play by Driscoll, but Plain fields the ball on his goal line, gets Duck to clear the zone, and Auburn, try as they might, cannot generate even a first goal out of the 3 they need in the next 40 seconds. Purdue find a way out, find a center ball. Is there a shot? Not quite. Good read by Driscoll to get in the passing lane, but Auburn is still struggling to play offense, and it's looking like a reverse sweep is necessary as Purdue have full boost tanks, full control of the ball, and time completely on their side. The Boilermakers in a very good position right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's enough time at all for Auburn. 5-6. Demo shot from a drift, saved wide. Another demo from Driscoll, but time will expire here in Game 3. Purdue, a very clean look so far in this series. Now just looking for one more to finish it.
Yep, and every game so far, Purdue's scored 3 goals. Their offense operating at a level, I think, consistent with how we know they can play against a team that is leaving them openings like Auburn is. And then on the back line, it gets scary sometimes, but Purdue is so much better at playing in tight quarters on the goal line than Auburn is at the moment, which makes sense given the Tiger situation. Purdue really flexing that team chemistry that they've been building up over the last year, and I think Enchanted and Duck been playing together for over a year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for certain on that, but the team chemistry is very obviously there for Purdue at the moment, and so far doing a very good job propelling them to victory. Just need one more game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, they're starting to play bully ball as well. I mean, that last game, Plain was 1 demo short of the executioner. He had 6 in that game against Auburn. So, and again, they were leading for almost all, they had a multiple goal deficit for almost all of that game. And Plain, just zero remorse, zero mercy, did not care, just kept demoing. And Auburn, not able to really respond. We were hoping it was going to happen maybe in Game 2, see a slow start in Game 1, then start to propel yourselves forward. But really haven't been up to that task. Playing a huge low 50, plays it down under Driscoll, and Purdue, same story as always, getting things started early.
Well, Driscoll, one of the newest members of the Auburn A team, he's getting some hard lessons tonight. Purdue are out 50ing him at a lot of different turns in this best of 7 so far. Now Plain's got access to the net again. He put the shot way off to the side. Bit of a miscue right there, but Purdue is still going to claim possession, and nearly an enchanted double tap to make it 2-0, though that won't quite come to fruition, so they try again, find the top left corner of the net, and make it a 2-goal lead.
And I think even Duck was surprised that this one it went in. Plain actually pre-jumped Driscoll, missed, and Duck just kind of went and shot it. And to his surprise, there was no one really back. Isaacson and Drift kind of both started pushing forward, no one able to reach it. So then the first minute already 2-goal lead for the Boilermakers. At what point, Bepic, do you think they just try to start styling on the Tigers?
I think they've already started styling just a little bit. I mean, the passing plays last game were pretty cool, and right here, I mean, Enchanted has just styled on the Auburn defense. He hesitated just a little bit after Adrift and Driscoll go, and that was enough to confuse Fizix and Adrift, and it's 3-0. Purdue's doing well.
Yeah, I think they can't be happier than they are right now. They're doing everything right. Auburn, I mean, of course, having a drift, we knew it was going to be a real interesting dynamic for this team, but haven't quite been up to the task. Maybe not what they hoped as well. Drift, nice save there. Now 3v1, but Driscoll just kind of drives right at Plain. Was able to take it away initially. Duck off the ceiling. Adrift and Enchanted both go. Neither actually make contact. Enchanted around 1. Duck just playing keep away. Another shot. Bit of a good angle there. Able to make it work. Adrift sends it straight down. And Auburn, you just get the sense that they're still in survival mode while Purdue are cruising.
That is what it feels like. At the very least, Auburn still trying to piece together plays. Driscoll's looking towards Fizix here. Comes off the back wall, but Duck is all over that. Now the Hunter Bruce has to get back for a save. And he climbs the ladder all the way to the crossbar to make a good block. Put a shot nearly over Fizix's head, but Fizix gets a save. Adrift a follow-up block. And Plain will slow play and is punished for that. Double commit now on Purdue's end. Gives Driscoll some room here. Plays is fast enough. Had a little bit of room in offense, but Plain did well to get back quick.
Yeah, Plain was off the ceiling there again. Just no remorse from this guy. Duck looking for a huge read, not able to make it work. Plain last back, only a pad in the tank, just faking the challenge early against Driscoll. Just no fear. Even if, you know, Purdue concedes 1, I think they're going to still be very, very confident. Duck playing this one over Driscoll. Gets bumped up the double, and almost an own goal coming through, but it eventually works out for Auburn. I think they're just looking for 1 here in game number 4.
That's a good poke mid. Adrift slows down the counterattack, and Driscoll plays it further back, forcing a double commit, so that works out. Purdue, I don't think it matters, but they have been double committing quite a bit in offense in the last couple of minutes, though they've kept possession on a couple of those doubles, so no harm done. Adrift gonna beg it clear all the way to the Purdue end, and get a little bit of space for Fizix and Driscoll, but the Boilermakers still all over these shooting and passing lanes.
And now Duck, low pre-jump there, still able to find a touch. Fizix in the back hole might have a double here, but a double commit from Duck and Enchanted to make the save, making sure that play got shut down. 75 seconds left on the clock. Plain to Duck, just musting that one into the corner. You can tell Purdue are having fun. Enchanted mind game demo from Plain, but coming sweeping back was Driscoll to make the stop. So final minute at hand. Purdue, it looks like they've done enough.
Well, Adrift takes a shot and Duck shuts it down. I think I'm with you, Dronis. Purdue looking to start off on the right foot for the Great Lakes. And I think in all 3 SEL versus Great Lakes nights, the night has started off with a 4-0 for the Great Lakes. Or a 4-0 in general. I'll have to check up on that in between Series 1 and Series 2, which that break should be coming up in just a second. It's looking like it's going to be a bit of an extended one. So all of you watching right now will get some fun memories of Monday Night Lights playing during the break. Nearly 4 made by Purdue, but a bit of a miscue there, as I think it was Plain that missed out on that shot. Either way, I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah, he just tried to poke it on target and ended up just going right by. But yeah, when you're up 3-0, less than 10 seconds left to go, you don't really mind, especially as the series will come to a close. Driscoll getting one for the road for Auburn. You know what? Leaving on a high note. They're going to get one, but Purdue take the series in 4.
Last goal wins, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Auburn is your winner of the first series of the SEL versus Great Lakes show match night. But either way, Purdue looking strong. I don't think there's much to say about that series. Thank you to Adrift for subbing in on such short notice, and shout out to the Auburn boys for putting up a fight. But Purdue, I think, was the favorites regardless of who played for Auburn tonight. They're looking quite good going into this upcoming season. I'm excited to watch them in CCS and CRL, whatever they're playing in, Great Lakes. They're going to be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They definitely were the favorites, but they also lived up to it. That's not always easy to do in these situations. You know, you have a team that you're the favorites against, maybe get in your own heads, but Purdue, they looked confident in themselves. They really ran the pitch, and that's exactly what you love to see. You know, same as you, I'm very excited to see how they compete. Definitely interested to see how they do in CCS Season 4. You know, the Big Ten always so dangerous in CCS, so we'll see how they kind of come out of that group stage.
Yeah, the Big Ten is going to be extremely dangerous. I can't wait to watch. But hey, they've beaten Kansas before. They can pull off upsets in their own conference as well. They can do anything. But here's the schedule for tonight. Forgot to show it off earlier. Next up at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, which is in about 30 minutes from now, thanks to Purdue making quick work of that first series. Indiana Tech taking on Texas. The Longhorns flexing a new third. KJ getting bumped up from the sub position to the starting position alongside Aviator and Benda. Should be a fun match tonight. And then after that, the prime time series, UTK Esports versus Michigan State. Op-Bomb versus Taibu, plus the rest of the absolutely stacked rosters that the Volunteers and the Spartans are bringing to Tuesday Night Lights. And then to cap things off, Buds at GSU flexing a new third versus Nichols College, a staple of the CRL scene. It's going to be a fantastic night. Dronis, you got any of those series marked down to tune back in for?
I mean, the UTK Michigan State series, absolutely. You cannot miss that one. That is going to be an absolutely incredible matchup. Two juggernauts really going head-to-head right here on Bepic Stream. It's going to be incredible to watch.
All right. Short break. Okay, fine. Long break on our first night of Tuesday Night Lights. I'll play some highlights from old MNL show match evenings in the meantime, but I'm looking forward to our next series, Texas versus Indiana Tech, in about 30 minutes time. Stick around. It's going to be a great night of Tuesday Night Lights. See you in a bit.
time, and the Crimson Tide, again, as you mentioned, their offense really struggling here in game number 6, and we'll see if that kind of stays to be the truth, as Arkansas, great job of the defensive end. Their midfield presence has been absolutely incredible. Again, haven't seen a lot of it. Chan gonna have a monster flick to get at least one on the board for Alabama, just making it not be a shutout.
Oh, I saw that developing, and I was like, what's Chan got for us right here? That was a beamer of a flick. Oh, my word. And it doesn't matter either. Like, I love that that was such a beautiful play. And such a great capitalization of space, and it means nothing, as Bama was down by 3 goals. But that's still a clip and a half that Bama can maybe take into game 7 now. That was just their 5th shot on target this game, as their offense really was shut down by Arkansas, who put up 10 that game.
Yeah, great look again for the Razorbacks. And now I'm just curious to see if they can keep up that pressure here, Bepic. Again, we saw 5 games, and we had not seen Arkansas look that good for any of them. They were able to keep it close. They were able to really rely on their defense, find those quick opening opportunities, but we have yet to really see their offense dominate until that game. So now, moving on into game 7, final game of the series, they need to keep that pressure up, and they need to force Alabama to buckle if they want to find this victory.
All right, can they do it again? Buckle that Alabama defense. I love that term. It's what it felt like they did, just by throwing off the reads that Bama was making so well previously in this series. And at the moment, Alabama starting off in the offensive zone. Solution has to back off as that 3rd man again. This is out on the dunk. Does Loco Train. See now Luke's follow does well. Set up Arkansas now for a little bit of offensive play, if they can ever get out of that corner.
Solution escapes for a moment. Luke, a little bit of a tough spot here. Chan just gonna power his way through up into the ceiling. Now Iconic needs a touch, will find an escape. Solution wasting no time. Gray tried to recover and respond off the back wall, just couldn't quite get back to it. Crimson Tide already having some opening opportunities, but Razorbacks hanging on. This looking very similar to what we've seen, but Iconic flexes here in game number 7, breaks the ice, a sidewall redirect. What can you do?
Not much. And Gray realized that quickly after that ball came off the front bumper of Iconic's Fennec. What a shot to open up the scoring in game 7. That is absolutely insane. And if Iconic's got that up his sleeve, Arkansas is absolutely a threatening team in the SEL playoffs. But right now, they got to close this one out. And Alabama, I'm sure, not going to be too happy about the way things have gone the last couple of games. They are going to be fighting fervently for a response here.
Yeah, what a shot, especially in crunch time as well. Game 7, need to ice up, and what a way to do it. Loco Train, big stop there. Chan aiming for that bottom right corner. Loco Train is able to get enough of it. Gray fires. Luke on the save. Chan already up to it. Tough read off the back wall. He's back up for it. Solution was there as well. All of Arkansas there to cover the following shot. Loco Train leaves it for Luke Gray. Finding the 50. Iconic left alone in the backfield. Chance shot just off the mark. Alabama, again, their offense been struggling to kind of find that final touch. Very similar to what we saw in game 1. As I say that, I curse Arkansas. I'm sorry, guys. And that will be the first for Alabama to tie things up.
You cursed them. You sentenced them to being cut alive by Solution. That was nasty. Slowed it down for half a second in the corner, had a monster flick off the back wall, tried to finish it himself or just bump the player looking to block Gray's eventual goal. That was beautiful by the substitute, and that's why Solution is still the lethal player that he once was. Even though he's a sub, even though he's kind of retired right now, he can still do that to defenses.
Absolutely, showing that he is still worth a lot and still has to be feared in these matchups. Now looking for a double to take the lead, can't quite do it. Ball from Chan, almost a fake as well. Solution fall towards the far side. It's to Gray, but Luke somehow reads it and makes the stop. What a save to keep the Razorbacks in it.
It's all coming together right now. The crazy shots from Iconic, the massive saves by Senile Luke. It's keeping this game in a tied state, but Alabama is still fighting heavily for that go-ahead goal. That spike down gives Solution a shot that's in an open net. Arkansas got spread way too thin by Alabama's attack right there, and they end up conceding the go-ahead goal.
Yeah, huge defensive mistake there. Luke and Loco Train both sitting on the crossbar together. Luke spiked that one down in the midfield, and Loco Train just kind of fell off the crossbar, leaving the net wide open for Bama to take full advantage. Now Solution, a wide open look in the midfield. Iconic able to find a save. Gray wants that upper 90, just misses Iconic. 50 back through the midfield, but Alabama, they're starting to find that pressure. They're starting to find that momentum. And if you're a Razorbacks fan, you got to be a little worried with how dangerous the Crimson Tide look right now.
Still, Arkansas has shown they've got clutch in this series. A couple of overtime winners, a couple of late goals. Can they do it here? Not if they're allowing Chan a shot like that. He generated so much power on that ground ball. I gotta see this again. He just hit that ball so hard. It catches Loco Train out and puts Bama back up by 2.
Yeah, a lot of momentum down off that bounce from the ceiling, just able to work it forward with the hood of his Octane, and off the respawn, Loco Train grabbed the boost kind of just at the wrong angle to try and make the save in time. 80 seconds left on the clock. Arkansas down to Alabama, looking to make it 3. This one just missed. Gray double right back into the corner. Demos coming out as well from Chan. Solution the 50. Luke downfield to Loco Train. Redirect to the back wall. Chan steals it away, and the Crimson Tide, again, they are in control. We need to see Arkansas come up with something, and they need to do it now. This could be it. That it is. Senile Luke finds the opening and threads the needle, and the Razorbacks are back within 1.
Who better than Senile Luke to find something right here, right now, as he's been the defensive god for Arkansas this series. So many saves racked up, and then comes in as the third man in that offensive rotation and scores 1 to get this back to a 1-goal lead for Alabama, though the Crimson Tide win the kickoff, and they get a shot, but Gray now back here. A strong touch forces 2 up for Arkansas. Loco Train makes Solution awkward. Chan double commits with Solution, who now has nothing in the tank, so he can only get a slight touch on that ball, but Loco Train missing that touch there. It's weird right now for Arkansas, but they've got possession. That's all you can ask for in the final 30 seconds when you need a goal.
They just need to keep pressure on this Alabama side. They cannot give them time and space like this. Chan works his way through. Loco Train, big demo. Luke needs to stay close to 50 through the midfield. A miss from Solution. This is the one opportunity you need, but Loco Train just ends up lobbing it on target. Had so much time, so much space. Ends up giving that one away. Final opportunity. Loco Train, this one might just drop. Iconic there! Arkansas, stay alive and take us to a Game 7 overtime.
No way! That backboard was so open. Arkansas, they didn't have much of a prayer at all on 0 seconds, but Alabama double commit like crazy in the last sequence, and they give Arkansas a blessing. Game 7 overtime in our first best of 7 on Monday Night Lights. How about that? Oh, it's the winner!
This one just gonna roll in!
No! I can't believe Alabama just gave that up. That's the shot that wins it?
Oh my word, you cannot make this up. Arkansas take the best of 7. Iconic flipped right past that ball, forced the defense to just whip. It rolls all the way in, and Arkansas, what a victory here. Oh my word.
I mean, what? That is the weirdest ending to a series I have ever witnessed on Monday Night Lights. That's crazy. An own goal where the initial touch started in the opposite corner and it just rolled on the ground the whole time. Like Chan was passing that back to Gray and he gets faked out by an Arkansas player moving in from the midfield. I can't believe that's how that series ends. And Arkansas, I mean, Alabama playing with Solution is still a threatening team, and the Razorbacks just showed some serious clutch that series.
I mean, absolutely. That was Alabama's series to lose. They
Yeah.
had complete control. They were up 3-1. It looked like it was almost over. And then Arkansas somehow just able to storm their way back into it. 0-second goal in game 7 to stay alive. And then one of the craziest and most awkward own goal endings I've ever seen. The Razorbacks, what a win for them.
I hope someone clips a whole bunch in that series, especially that game 7, starting off with the iconic Psycho off the sidewall. That's crazy. We started off at the pinnacle of mechanics and ended at the lowest of lows. But
Oh my word.
it was still entertaining all the way through. Dronus man, thank you for joining me on that insane roller coaster of a series. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I mean, you can't ask for better content than that. Again, congrats to Arkansas on the dub. I mean, good luck to both these teams in the SEL playoffs. Definitely two contenders. Looking forward to hopefully seeing them play more and more. It was a great series. It was a weird ending, but it was still a great series.
All right, and we got hopefully another great series coming up in a bit. UNC Charlotte versus Cumberland. A test of the Niners to see if they are legit. It can hold up against a top 8 SEL squad. We'll see what happens in the next best of 7 coming up on Monday Night Lights, and that'll be in just a few minutes, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Lights, SEL versus Great Lakes edition. We've had one series played so far, very quickly unfortunately. It was a 4-0, Purdue taking down Auburn in sweeping fashion. So, Great Lakes up one series so far. But next up, I'm bringing in Texas and Indiana Tech to play, as well as Mr. DJ TJ to cast the next couple series with me. TJ, how you doing?
Doing good. You know, we had to bring an SEC stacked desk to make sure we could support the SEL and hopefully kind of get the rivalry back on track. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here on Tuesday Night Lights.
I mean, it's only fitting we get two SEC casters to introduce the newest SEC school. And I guess it's not really football season or like the fall semester season quite yet, but August is close enough. I mean, Texas is essentially an SEC school now. Indiana Tech, though, definitely not an SEC school, but in the last Great Lakes Summer Showdown, they made a pretty solid run to top 8. So this is a decent squad playing a pretty decent Texas team as well, which for those curious, KJ is stepping up from the substitute spot to fill Adorn's shoes alongside Aviator and Benda. So I'm curious to watch the new look Texas team. But I mean, TJ, it's the start of the season. A lot of teams are getting themselves together. You've been through a couple of beginning of seasons. At this point, like August, are you even playing yet, like with your new fall semester team as a player?
Well, a lot of schools do their tryouts differently, and I mean, there's some are fortunate enough to know that, hey, this is going to be our main 3 over the summer, and then we're going to roll into the fall. But I know a lot of schools who won't be doing tryouts for another 3-4 weeks. So I think doing show matches like these are probably a test run for a lot of these teams. But what I'm most excited for about this game is Indiana Tech with the addition of Naz. Naz is somebody that I played in high school who has been a good friend of mine over Twitter, and obviously Chippy being a really good friend of mine over Twitter as well. And so I'm very excited to see how the new signee does today.
I mean, new additions, new look teams, and just a great night of Rocket League. I mean, the series after this that I know you're sticking around for, TJ, is UTK and Michigan State. Like, that should also be a banger of a series. Two juggernauts in their respective conferences. To look ahead just real quick, you looking forward to that one?
Oh, how could you not? I mean, two incredible powerhouses, schools that are kind of right outside that CCA top 32. I mean, literally, we're talking singular games outside of it. So that one's going to be great.
And, all right, well, to go back to this series, we just got word Naz is not playing today.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So, no new signee, but still a really solid Indiana Tech roster. This program is very good. And, I mean, Bub from Great Lakes, he talks about them very highly. Obviously being a manager, I believe he is the role he's taken for the team. He talks about them very highly, as he should. But this is a solid Indiana Tech roster that I got to watch during that Great Lakes Summer Showdown. So against a new look Texas team, this is a great chance for Indiana Tech to show themselves off, which I think both teams are in the lobby, so I'm going to go ahead and ask them if they're ready to go. But for the SEL, I mean, Texas needs a win here to level the playing field tonight.
Yeah, and I do think that since we have it's actually 3 new members for Indiana Tech. So Naz is subbing, and then they have 2 other new members to the team. So Chippy is the only consistent part of this roster, which means I think I got to give Texas the upper hand here, but that means we literally have no idea what to expect here.
Well, that's some kind of like Mandela effect thing with me, because I really thought that Bluey and Miller, or maybe not Miller, but Bluey for sure, I thought had played for Indiana Tech. But hey, that shows what I know. We're just up in the booth. Let's the players do the talking. Texas and Indiana Tech, the second series of the SEL versus Great Lakes rivalry night on Tuesday Night Lights is underway. Here we go.
You're looking for players to watch out for just to kind of get your cards ready for this one. You have to look at Chippy versus Aviator. I believe both the kind of clear team captains of their respective teams, but I mean, going down the list, there's so many difference makers, and how about KJ here?
I mean, substitute to starter. I know KJ's got experience, I believe. Played in the CCS National Tournament with Dorn and Aviator, I believe. So has playing experience starting off the scoring first. Not too shabby for the newest starter.
I mean, every series that I seem to cast with you or in the SEL, there always seems to be some sort of sub who's now a starter and then who always has an incredible performance. So I'm not going to say thank you, but wait a minute, he gets beat here by Bluey.
All right, welcome. As an official new roster, I believe this is the roster that played in the Summer Showdown. But man, Bluey showing up big time for Indiana Tech. How about that?
Off to a very fiery start here. You know, we were hyping up the next series, but who says this one can't go to 7? Miller, flip reset. Aviator, though, too easy of a save for him, and this 50 will finally give us at least a little bit of time.
I mean, last time Texas played on then Monday Night Lights, they beat Davenport Red, the B team, in 4 games, a 3-1 in a best of 5, and Game 3 included a 12-minute overtime. So I'm fully expecting entertainment from Texas at the very least. And Indiana Tech, I mean, they got Bub going to the same school. So a dude's an entertainer himself. I'm sure he's infused the Rocket League team with that same kind of energy. But 1-1 in the first minute and change, and Indiana Tech with a good amount of pressure right now.
It's always interesting to see how schools who I don't believe have ever played each other finally get the chance to go head-to-head, and especially in a best-of-7 where you know that you have arguably multiple games to figure the other team out before it becomes dire need. And right now, both teams, that first minute was so sloppy, but now we're finally starting to see some more reserve gameplay. But Aviator trying to change that, looking for KJ in the middle, but Bluey a very good counter there. Can Benda get this one? No, he cannot. Aviator all by his lonesome, but who else would you want on their back foot here?
Oh yeah, Aviator does so well, not just to clear the ball, but to find Benda at the end of the play as well. And then pick it up on the sideline, though Chip and Bluey do very well to flip possession and put a shot on that Benda gets back just in the nick of time for. Good defense by Texas to stop what was a very good-looking opportunity for Indiana Tech.
Indiana Tech with everything to prove so far, really putting some pressure on here as that redirect will go off, and now this could be a 3v1, but Miller, confidence all throughout this Indiana Tech roster. Look at Chip pre-jumping for this one. That won't hit. Aviator will be beat. This roster playing quick, but also making all of their touches, keeping this confidence going and flowing.
This is such a great match of speed and on-ball ability so far. I mean, after the last series, I was a little worried we were going to have too many sweeps tonight, but so far, this best of 7, and we are only 3 minutes in, but right now it just looks so even across the pitch, back and forth. Both teams putting decent looks on the board, both defenses playing well until then, but Aviator somehow salvages that play after a double commit on the crossbar and keeps us tied.
Once again, who else would you want on that back line? Aviator having to fall back, and so I worry a little bit about Texas trying to get some offense going, as there really hasn't been too many looks other than Aviator kind of working the midfield by himself. But now Bluey, he's looked incredible so far. He's got a musty, but he doesn't have the double. Is there a player to follow? It's Miller, but he can't put one on net. But Bluey has looked incredible right now.
That's a nice dunk, but Aviator does well on the goal line, and Benda, I don't think he was even necessary in that play. Aviator just beat everybody back to the Indiana Tech goal line. That ball leaks center. Miller's trying to rotate back and had half a play on that ball, but ultimately couldn't get back to it.
And Bluey and Miller both in the same places on 2 separate sides of the fields, and neither one able to get back. So Indiana Tech working out the kinks, but on offense they have a lot figured out here, including Chip off the backboard looking to tie this one up. But Benda, what a save. Miller up next. Aviator, though, not worried and not flustered as he'll push this one out middle.
Oh, that's a missed block by Benda. Forces KJ to panic. Bluey leaves the ball for Chip to shoot. Benda got in the way before anything dangerous developed. Now, awkward on the goal line is the entirety of Texas. That was such great control by Indiana Tech, using the height of the ball to ultimately spread apart Texas and score the equalizer.
Yeah, Aviator, not a bad idea, but pushing that ball middle is obviously a scary thought no matter what, and just barely doesn't land that wave dash off the backboard, and that's all that this Indiana Tech roster needs.
And Miller on the ball off kickoff, gets to the goal line, sets up Bluey, but his worm burner is stopped by Benda on the Texas goal line, and Aviator bumps Chip off the play, so Texas trying to find a clear, but Miller not keen on allowing it at the moment, though he's got nothing in the boost tank. So Aviator finds KJ down the field, and Texas have a decent looking opportunity that they capitalize on, and they claim a late lead.
team sport here. KJ, Aviator trying to clear out this net, and it does take 2 people, but hey, a goal is a goal, and with 40 seconds left, what more can you ask for?
Poor Bluey. That was just a rotation to the near post. That was a rotation into Bluey's Fennec as Aviator was bumping him. And then KJ comes in to polish off the play with a bump on him. And Texas do very well to find themselves a late lead. 30 seconds left and trying to add to it.
Indiana Tech, again, they've shown so much already in this first game. What will be better than tying up a game that they looked like they were kind of down in a lot of the time, like Bluey looking for a bump here. Miller on the follow-up shot. Aviator will not get to it, but Bendo will instead. There's nobody near. He'll turtle his way bottom left. Texas basically will clinch game 1.
Wow, and it's another play where the ball just kind of leaks out in front of a Texas defender, and Indiana Tech put too many eggs in one basket, and they're beaten back to the goal line. I don't mind that play right there. They kind of had to go all in at some point, but right there, it works out in favor of Texas, and in a highly contested game 1, it looks like the Longhorns will come out on top unless Indiana Tech does something quick, which that ball is just not in a position for them to do.
And this kind of was what I was expecting here in this series. Texas being the more consistent team, having more hours together, I would expect them to come out and simply look like the more controlled team. And you could see Indiana Tech threw the kitchen and the sink at them, trying to just do whatever they could to clear up some room. And they had some great opportunities, but at the end of the day, the Texas defense was incredible, including Aviator leading the way.
I mean, Bento with 6 saves as well on 15 Indiana Tech shots, 13 of those coming from Bluey and Miller. I mean, Indiana Tech, they looked fairly composed as well at times in offense. There were those 2 goals that they kind of let slip where they just let that ball bounce in front of a Texas defender on the goal line, and there was no one left to defend the counterattack. But outside of that, they did a great job controlling possession that game. And if they're able to limit those free runs just straight down the middle lane for Texas, then hey, maybe Indiana Tech is able to get one back here. But it's down to execution now. I look to their offense to change the complexion of this series so far.
It's a very slippery slope for Indiana Tech when you have somebody as skilled as Aviator who really isn't being pressured. I mean, yes, he wasn't leading the team in points, but that's because he doesn't need to. He doesn't have to be the leading shot guy or the leading save guy. All he has to do is control the pace of the game and give his teammates a chance to succeed. As Aviator trying to do that by clearing Bluey out, but Bluey doing a good job to work his way past 2.
Miller takes 50-50 with Benda, goes neutrally. No one wins it. The chip takes over, but about for possession, Indiana Tech actually will win, but they sacrifice a lot of territory to get that victory. And Aviator nearly took advantage of that territory loss, the nice dunk, but it's counter-dunked by Indiana Tech. They get a clear, and well, Texas sends it right back. No one has clear control of Game 2 right now.
It's these small rotational differences in consistency that will make the difference for Texas, as they got to watch out here as they're a little slow coming back here. But now Benda might have an open net to look at, and somehow, some way, Benda looking for a bump. Miller can't get back, and I mean, hey, I was just about to discredit their rotation, but I guess they got it.
And it's Chip as the 3rd man committing right there. I didn't see the play before he took that 50-50, but he committed it and lost it. And it's another play where Texas, all they have to do is walk the dog right down the road into the back of the Indiana Tech net. And it's a freebie of sorts. The actual goal scoring was easy, but they had to withstand a lot of pressure, and good pressure by the Indiana Tech offense to get to that point. But hey, Texas is still playing defense very nicely.
Aviator once again controlling the pace, looking for a little more up the wall, but Miller, 0 boost, doing a good job to kind of stall that out for now. But here comes Benda, counterattack, not going to fall, but KJ positioned wonderfully. Chip trying to stay on this ball. It's a tap down to Miller, and once again, Indiana Tech, this style of possession up until the midfield just simply isn't working. They can try and take one out, but you've got to do more, and you've got to stop Aviator, who somehow gets a buttload of power on that one.
How on earth did he generate that much power on the last turn of his Fennec? That is absurd, the amount of oomph he put on that shot. And that's why you can't let Aviator have space. He will make you pay.
It's in the name and it's in the clan tag. He simply understands the air, and that was indeed a bonk. So we'll see what more he has in store. See if he has anything else pressure-wise. He can start right off the rip here as he'll push this one far left side. KJ once again reading the Indiana Tech half really well. Chip begging for Miller. Bluey needs to beat a player here, but once again, they have to get out of the midfield.
Chip not really going to get them out of there and gives the ball to Benda on the sideline, yes, but that's control that Indiana Tech can't really afford right now as Aviator bounces it off the back wall, plays it nearly around Chip, but Chip, great job getting the toe on that ball to intervene with the trickery Aviator was throwing his way. So Bluey clears the defensive end and puts Indiana Tech in a scoreable position, just narrowly. Misses out on a tight angle shot though.
Miller, not a lot of boost at the time. Couldn't find an opportunity, but he might find a double touch here. He'll miss. Bluey, he'll be blocked. Chip gets a chance on net, but KJ is uncontested. Aviator's redirect, dunked. Miller, is there a teammate there to shoot? No. Chip's demo will take him out of the play, and Indiana Tech finally start getting some looks, but just like that, Texas gains control.
I mean, they had plenty of looks in game one, but Texas still found ways to stop them, and that's the case here as well, as Miller has some space off the back wall. Bluey takes a shot, and it's the fourth Texas defender that finds a save there to keep Indiana Tech scoreless, as the shot careens off the post, and Indiana Tech, they try again.
Bluey has looked so talented mechanically, but so far 0 for 3 in this game. And I'm not saying that he's the pure difference maker, but you would like to see either him or Chip kind of leading the way offensively. I mean, Miller's doing his best to hold the back line down, and here with Zero Boost doing the same, but he'll be dunked, and Chip, can he get back to this one? No, he can't, and it's just chaos with Indiana Tech's rotations right now.
And it looked like Chip was able to catch this, but didn't keep driving into the ball. Maybe the turn angle would have had him coming up short, but either way, he's right there. That has to hurt so bad to just narrowly be out of position and have the ball scored right in your face. And Texas, despite giving up a lot of pressure at times to Indiana Tech, saving nearly everything. Until now, Chip gets one back.
I was just about to say that Indiana Tech could fix a lot of their issues with simple communication, and here, Bluey just simply beats a player and Chip up next. That's the dynamic duo that it's going to take in order for Indiana Tech to get back into this one.
Of the redemption as well. Chip being the one closest to the third goal Texas just scored. And he gets the first goal on the board for Indiana Tech. We'll see what kind of go they have at making this comeback happen. Chip's in a good position here. Puts the ball off the back wall, but Aviator plays it nicely, and Benda has space to clear. Or not.
Look at Miller, though, coming out as third man, just instantly putting a challenge on him. Bluey's pre-jumped, and he's looking to pass back down here. Chip will get a chance to find a teammate middle, but again, it's kind of rushed, kind of forced, and KJ will say thank you very much. Bluey now, 100 boost, trying to find some work out of his corner. He's got one player beat, make it a second. Benda barely able to get to that one, though. Miller, backboard, KJ has to watch out for Chip. That ball will go straight back down. Is there a shot here? Net is wide open. Miller will find the second for Indiana Tech.
And there absolutely is something to be said about the comeback out of Indiana Tech. Great couple of beats in the offensive zone, and Miller seizes that opportunity, uses every drop of boost in his tank, and he wins the race to the ball on the near side right there. 3-2, Texas. Better look out as Indiana Tech starting to come from behind.
Biggest glaring difference, if you take a look at the scoreboard, is that Texas has had the possession. They are leading in touches by miles here, and you can tell that just by looking at the score, just by looking at the shots. But Indiana Tech, this entire half of the game has been very positive for them, but you can't let Aviator and KJ work you, and Miller will deny.
Bends off the back wall, trying to force a miss out of Miller. That's actually Bluey that plays the ball backwards to himself. Indiana Tech have it all to do here in the waning moments of game number 2. KJ steps up at the midfield line and will really make it difficult for Indiana Tech to score their third. Has to happen on 0 seconds, and they can keep the ball up a little bit longer. Bluey around, bumps the next man. Benda comes in and plays the ball over towards Bluey. Miller straight up. Benda has the boost. Game 1 over Chip. No, the ball still hangs in the air until it doesn't. Stupid gravity. Texas win game 2.
Few chances there for Indiana Tech, but it was too little too late, and you can tell that they are a new team. They are slowly finding their rhythm, but again, Texas had a more consistent start, and they just simply poured it on, and it was too much.
Even then, on the back end, when Texas did start to lose momentum and give up a number of shots and just time spent in their defensive end, they did well to make the saves that they had to. And even when it got scary there at the end, the equalizer seemed to be on the cards at 0 seconds. They kept their nerve. Aviator and Benda have been doing this for a very long time. I've been watching them since their freshman year, which they're both seniors now, I believe, and that makes me feel old. But they know how to win games, and game 2 showed that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make an age joke. We'll just kind of gloss over that fact. But hey, experience is a very key part of this game. I mean, Bluey had mentioned it himself in Twitch chat, is that him and Miller are brand new to this Indiana Tech roster, and I can see the potential in the Chip and Bluey offensive duo, but as of right now, I have seen pure solo plays other than the one goal they got there to try and keep things interesting in the back half, and you've got to find more of those opportunities. You've got to start seeing the vision of your team. You've got to find some passing lanes, or else you're going to go down 4-0.
Well, those glimpses have to turn into goals. There we go. All right, those glimpses have turned into goals as now Indiana Tech down by 2 games. The little bar on the bottom wouldn't disappear there. I don't know why H wasn't working, but it's all good. We got it. And we're into game 3 with Texas starting off on the Indiana Tech side of the ball. Set up a decent look right now as that ball hangs in the air for Aviator, who plays it slowly. And that ends up working against him as Miller recovers and finds a great block.
2 players dove, though, and other than Miller, there's not a whole lot of boost in this Indiana Tech half. So Miller doing a great job. He's going to fake for Bluey, who did get the mid-boost, who has a double. He will miss. Chip will not be able to put that double in, and once again, Indiana Tech, a lost opportunity.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Bub is on vacation right now. Otherwise, he would more than likely be casting this series right now. And if he's watching, I don't know if he is, but I hope he's not. For the sake of his heart, being on vacation should be relaxing. But Indiana Tech keep having these really good-looking shots just narrowly get saved the last second or go off the post. I mean, that right there is so close to being an incredible redirect. But instead, it's well, fairly wide. But still, it could be on target. Oh, okay,
and that one will find the back of the net. Bluey solo play backboard. How about this touch, Bepic?
Yeah, I gotta see this again. That's all right. He just got around the ball. It's a clean shot and helped along there at the end by KJ, but he had to make a play on it. So 1-0 Indiana Tech, again, putting good pressure on Texas. Nobody's perfect in defense, and with how well Indiana Tech are playing at the moment in offense, they are going to force Texas's defense to show off those cracks.
I mean, me and Texas were in the same boat. I didn't expect him to find a touch there at all, and now Aviator unexpectedly getting through, opening a lane for KJ. KJ to Aviator. Top bends. Miller misses. Bend to top left. He is denied, and now Chip backwards, but he will find some possession.
So close. This time on the Texas side, just going an equalizer. But Indiana Tech finding a way to get out unscathed and connect down the field. Bluey's shot is just a little wide from the midfield line. Texas respond. They slow down the Indiana Tech push into offense and might stop it completely depending on how Benda fields this ball.
I will say Indiana Tech not losing a lot of confidence. You can still see their first man lingering in the Texas half, just waiting for that one opportunity, that one redirect, or maybe something like this where there's a bump opportunity, but Indiana Tech still a car length or 2 away from really pushing those opportunities in the back of the net. Here's some good possession, though. Chip maybe faking for Bluey. That's exactly what he will do, and it's a great shot from Bluey. Here's the passing plays we want to see.
I am so glad the director cam showed that whole sequence from Benda's perspective here, because Aviator leaks out into the corner to maybe contest that ball at the midfield line, leaving Benda as the third man with like 6 drops of boost. And when that ball hung in the air that long, I was like, oh man, Benda is screwed. And he was. Couldn't make a save. It's 2-0 Indiana Tech. Make it 3. Oh my word. What a play.
Yeah, me and Aviator had the same reaction. Is right. Bluey, I think that was on the net regardless. But Chip off of the sidewall, or off the backboard, sorry, the side of it, will somehow find that off the top of his car and redirect it in.
That's insane. That is insane. Indiana Tech find themselves up a trio now of goals, and they've found a bit of a rhythm. I don't know how calculated that last goal was, but 3-0 speaks for itself. They are looking much better here in Game 3.
Well, this is finally the mechanical prowess that with a passing play here and there, Indiana Tech will finally start to find some gaps in the Texas defense. But Texas, don't count them out just yet. 2 minutes left to go. Bluey ripping this one away, and Indiana Tech, their biggest goal should just be possession. And Bluey, how about that dunk?
And it gets Indiana Tech back in offense. Brilliant dunk at the midfield line. They're putting it all together for at least a 3-minute span. We'll see if that continues as Texas is very close to responding, but don't quite find the mark on their shot. They'll try again, bend off the back wall for Aviator, and he is denied access to the Indiana Tech goal line thanks to Miller. KJ doesn't drop a shot. That was Benda's that ended up being saved by Bluey. So Texas putting a lot of presence around the orange box, but ultimately it's resulting in nothing.
One of the biggest differences in this game, other than just the mechanical prowess on offense, has actually been the speed on defense of Indiana Tech up until this moment right here.
Hey, clean shot. Aviator can do that, and it will get Texas back in this game. I mean, 80 or so seconds left, and you would much rather be down 2 goals at this point than down 3. So Texas has a chance.
Be interesting to see what Texas pulls out here. No kickoffs and no immediate passing plays off rip here. So now 60 seconds left. See what Aviator's got in store. He's got one high. Is there a pass? He'll try and aim middle. KJ close, but not close enough. Bluey looking to get out. Oh, look at this read from Benda going left side. Is there a player there to receive? Not a blue one.
2 confident teams doing battle on Tuesday Night Lights. There is nothing more I could ask for. This is exciting Rocket League at the moment, and Bluey's gonna make it even more so. Explosion in the blue net as he slams that shot in, realized that he had Benda dead to rights and just ripped a missile on target. Perfectly done. Indiana Tech should win game 3.
Pile it on, Bluey. 3 for 5. I mean, massive hat trick here. Really shift the tide of this entire series, and that was kind of what I was hoping to see after game 1. Obviously, I have known nothing about Bluey, but based on these last 3 games, he is mechanical, and he can take over a game, and especially with the help of Chip, who's got to spend more time on his back foot here, but that's what Indiana Tech has to do, as Chip completely flips roles there and looks for a demo, but now Miller gets a shot opportunity. That double won't fall, but Indiana Tech just kind of stalling out at this point.
Clean pop. Doesn't get through Bluey. KJ's follow-up is just a light touch out to the side. Yeah, time's going to expire. Texas lose their first game of the set as Indiana Tech looked incredible in Game 3. They stepped up big time, going down 2-0, and I mean, Bluey leading the charge. I think ultimately he's going to have around 800 points once everything is tallied in Game 3, but Chip and Miller looking extremely good as well. If this continues, I think it could very well even this series up in Game 4. I mean, what is that touch?
Yeah, the most frightening parts about that game for any Texas fan is that this series so far has felt like Indiana Tech kind of playing off of their own miscues and then having to play off their mistakes and back foot for the rest of the game. But when they finally had the mechanical prowess to be consistent, to hit these incredible shots and really take a lead, they looked great on defense. So if that's the difference and this team is warm, who knows where this game 4 is going?
Yeah, Texas has to upgrade if they're going to keep up with Indiana Tech. And what the IT offense looked like in that last game. So, Game 4, the grounds of recovery for Texas, or perhaps the grounds of a full comeback to level us up for Indiana Tech. Good start for KJ, though. Nice couple of challenge wins, but Chip responds in kind.
I will say that Miller, I think, as a quote-unquote third man on this Indiana Tech roster, has had a little more of an impact than KJ, who obviously has came in as a sub here, but I would love to see him play with a little more confidence, really try and put some pressure on, and then see if Benda and Aviator can work out of the midfield. That was kind of what their success story was in Game 1, and even with an Indiana Tech roster that looks a lot more warmed up, I believe they can make that system work, but so far, 30 seconds in, no score.
Chip going back, wall flipping, nearly back into the path of the ball, but Aviator got in the way before we could even see if he was going to be successful in that attempt. Benda, soft touch down the side, finds Aviator down the field, but Chip all kinds of in the way of whatever Aviator was cooking up right there. He then flicks the ball over Benda, but can't fake out KJ on the near side, who's now just beaten Miller, but Miller gets back quickly into defense, takes out Benda, and slows down the Texas offense.
Benda just barely too slow there, trying to give Texas some much needed momentum, and now Aviator all by himself having to stall out. He'll be one though. I'm loving the pre-jumps, but I worry that if Texas finally starts finding some of these counterattacks, that they're going to become kind of useless. But we'll see. Bluey once again keeping that aggressive style, and he almost finds a dunk on the net here. Miller going to try and keep the pressure on, but Aviator a great beat. But look at Indiana Tech. Right place, right time. This ball falling down on a dime. Chip 1-0.
Hey, credit to Chip for betting on that play. He just dives in, maybe anticipating a miss there from Bennett, noticing he was a little bit late to the play, and capitalizes on it. 1-0 Indiana Tech, picking up right where they left off.
Exactly what you want to see if you're an Indiana Tech fan, even if you're on vacation like poor Bub is, but I'm sure that he's having a good time. Texas, though, not a lot of smiles that I've seen through their gameplay, but this time, they got a lot of boosts here. They got a lot of pressure if Benda can try and get that corner, but instead he pinches. I'm not sure why Texas playing a little rushed here.
KJ's been beaten, and Aviator's been taken out. Benda, though, dodges the last demo of the triple threat that was nearly put on the Texas defense. Either way, Aviator still taken out on the other side. A distinct strategy shift for Indiana Tech, but Texas are surviving it.
Yeah, Texas is doing a really good job to avoid the bumps. Aviator, though, not able to do much there. KJ, uncontested, looking for Aviator, who's also got nobody on him. Up the ceiling, KJ looking left side. Bluey already up, though, and they're just kind of exchanging blows right now.
Hey, I mean, Texas, I don't know how they got out of all the demos that they were giving up and still nearly found an opportunity to tie up this game. But Indiana Tech, I think with the majority of the agency and offense in this game so far. It's a slim majority, but if they can keep it up, 2 minutes left, we could still see this series tied up, though. KJ and Aviator linking up for a touch on the ball. Bluey gets in the way of the shot, and so Texas is pushed back upon.
Yeah, this is going to be Indiana Tech's first true test of defensive consistency here. Now holding on to a 1-goal lead, just barely, and still so much time left to play. And so far their play style really hasn't managed to change too much. Still a lot of pressure, still a lot of solo plays, and still a lot of mechanics coming out, but Texas, I feel like they're slowly chipping away here, including some passing opportunities, and Chip, last man back, but it doesn't even matter.
Oh, KJ found a shot off the back of a couple of deft Benda and Aviator passes, but again, Indiana Tech a man back to make a read. Now Bluey chasing down the field, not going for demo or ball, backing off, allowing Chip to step into the play. Miller is set up, drop the ball to Bluey, who carries it all the way. And of course, a bump was included in that full-scale package for a second goal. That was clean.
Bluey continuing his offensive presence in the Texas half, and I mean, originally I didn't even think that was going to be a real chance, but had the boost to get under and around that ball, and an incredible solo play from him.
He can add to his already impressive highlight reel. Bluey trying to set up Chip, but the defense in the way for Texas. Can't get the ball away, and instead give Bluey a shot on target that gets saved, but the rebound is very easy for Miller. That ball just sat there for him. It's 3-0 Indiana Tech.
Just some rare defensive miscues from Texas, and unfortunately already down 2. You cannot have that, and this game has been turned on its head. Indiana Tech up 3 once again.
Kickoff. Benda wins the race to the ball, but Chip forces a touch center, and there's no one back for Texas. They give up an easy 4th to Indiana Tech, and this is looking dire for the Longhorns, as Indiana Tech have stepped up big time the last couple of games.
Yeah, I'd hate to call it a mental reset game, but 3 goals in a span of 15 seconds just about. It's looking a little iffy here for Texas, but let's see if there's any magic left in the tank.
Aviator's usually the guy to provide it, and in the corner gives KJ a goal. Okay, maybe there is a little sparkle or two in the Texas camp.
Bottom right here is just a very well-placed shot, and it's off of Indiana Tech making an error. So this game kind of getting a little out of whack here, but still a 3-goal lead stands.
All right, 60 seconds left. I don't see this comeback happening, but it is possible. Chip could put an end to it right here, right now, though, with a big dunk. Ball drops in the direction of Miller, but not a perfect spot for him to field it, though he does want to keep control. Set up Bluey for a setup right back to Miller. 5-1, and this game's over.
Yeah, I mean, I guess why be worried when all Bluey had to do was just pick up the pace and Miller just do the exact same thing top left. I mean, 4 goals here, 40 seconds. I don't think this series has been messy enough to see a comeback here.
Nope. And Indiana Tech, I mean, 5 goals in this game so far, 4 in the previous. They were held to 2 in the game 2 and game 1. Not a combined 2, but 2 each. And they have just found a rhythm, I feel like. It was sloppy. They had pressure. They couldn't get through Texas, even when they did start to find some momentum in offense. But all of a sudden, in game 3, they found a rhythm. Aviator still feeling pretty good. That was a pretty decent shot, but it's ultimately not enough here in game 4.
I mean, hey, you'll take whatever momentum you can get, especially after losing what will most likely be 2 games in a row here. I mean, you need to flip things around. You need to make adjustments, and if Aviator can maybe have to step up on offense and maybe somebody else has to play back, then so be it.
Nice demo. Indiana Tech using a lot more explosions to find space against Texas.
It's critical of the solo plays of Indiana Tech, and Chip and Bluey kind of taking their own jabs, but now the focus is kind of shifted because they're actually hitting said solo plays. So I wonder if Texas's momentum is purely mechanical here, or if it truly is a rotational difference.
We'll see. I mean, we're tied up now, 2-2. Game 5 and a guaranteed game 6 as well coming up. And for Texas, I'm wondering if they just try to manage in defense or if they try to up the speed. I know they've, in years past, been able to up their pace of play and force teams to play at a faster pace. But right here, they have been dusted at times by Indiana Tech. And right here, Bluey winning that ball clean. No KJ in top position for it. They'll find it clear. We'll see what Texas builds off the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, Texas was right there in game number 4. I mean, they really had it for the first 2.5 minutes of that game, but then they had the one crash out, and next thing you know, you're fighting from 3-4 goals back. And so I think for Texas, the biggest keys of the game is to get back to that consistency that you had at the beginning of the series. It's what you're known for. That's what you should be able to do best here, and you cannot let the pressure of a player like Bluey get to you, and especially get to more than one of you.
Oh, Chips in an awkward spot, and Aviator, he noticed. Cleans up after expecting the miss from the back wall defender of Indiana Tech, and Texas right back on it.
Yeah, Chip, unfortunately, I think he could have used one more pad there, and that's uncharacteristic from him, and really not much to work with in the first place. So Aviator will take it. Texas finally getting some momentum here.
The side wall, Bluey collects. Looking to cut around KJ, but he just runs straight into the ball and plays it backwards for the Texas defense to field from their goal line, which Aviator does, but this flip reset was actually met by Benda as he demos Chip and wins the 50-50 and nearly scores. Benda almost doing it all.
Very dangerous there from Bluey, but once again, Indiana Tech's confidence, it was killing them the first 2 games, but it's been the reason that they've continued to do well up until this game. We're going to see Texas take another goal.
Well, Chip, he tried to get out of the defensive zone, but Aviator fielded the ball, and that situation was made worse by Benda cutting through the play and accidentally hitting that ball right at KJ Storm. So 2-0 Texas, cleaning up on that last play, but Indiana Tech, I'm sure they've still got a little bit of momentum, at least on their offensive side, for how well they've been playing the last couple of games. We'll see if they can use that to get back here. They nearly did.
Indiana Tech, that is 2 off the post, narrow opportunities, and this might just be a third. Chip looking, but that shot is weak. Miller won't dunk. Bluey, the third man, all the way up, doubling, dropping, but will not find the back of the net. Look at the confidence, still losing out.
And Chip, he just kind of plays as the back wall, and KJ reacts quickly. So there's no control for the Texas defense at the moment. Indiana Tech finding a shot, but no save. Aviator gets behind the play. Bluey beats one. Can't quite beat KJ, but Miller can't. Awkward here. Indiana Tech have Texas in a bad spot, and Bluey off the back wall has no teammate to immediately shoot. So Texas have time to recover and find a way out.
Bluey a slight miscue. I believe he had the boost and the angle for that double, but unfortunately couldn't get back to it after the initial flip, but he's going to find the ball regardless, and Chip will find Bluey. If this could be a shot, it would be incredible, but the comeback will not be kick-started just yet. Halfway through this first game, Texas barely surviving, but doing a solid job.
Aviator's got no boost. Chip doesn't know that, but he still finds his teammate. Bluey plays that ball quickly into Texas territory, but out into the corner where KJ fields it. Forces a touch towards Benda. Texas, they can't gain any kind of space in offense at the moment. Indiana Tech are playing too quickly in their defensive rotations. And KJ here, no control with that. Didn't have the boost to control the ball. So Chip keeps the play going for Indiana Tech, though. A passing play finds Texas over the midfield line, but still right back into play in defense as Miller keeps control, finds Bluey to the back wall. Still no goal.
Texas, though, looking a little panicked. This is a 2-goal lead. They've got to slow it down a little bit. You don't want to have another major sequence where you see Indiana Tech take 1, 2, 3, or even a 4th goal in a row, and that one, another very narrow save for Texas.
There's no boost in the Texas camp at the moment. Aviator, he was able to fill up his tank and will be needed on the goal line. Comes up with nothing. Chip going to score that one from near the midfield line as he got a flip reset, and that was enough to confuse the Texas defense.
Yeah, I mean, confusion is a nice way to put it. I'm not exactly sure how that one found a way through the Texas half, but Indiana Tech will take it, and with 90 seconds left, pretty crucial time here.
I think Aviator thought, I think it was Miller diving in right there, was going to get an extra touch on that ball, and he just didn't. And so it confused a little bit, but yeah, it looked bad. And Texas find their lead cut in half. A minute or so to go. Indiana Tech, they can keep up the amount of possession they've had over the last couple of minutes. They really are in a good spot to make this comeback happen.
Well, what does Indiana Tech have in store? Top left is on the shelf, but Miller wants bottom side. It was a close opportunity, and Aviator will die, so there's still another one in store. Chip, reset, won't get it, and now KJ will give the ball away to Miller. Miller could beat 2 here. Does he have a third? Aviator gets over 1. Is there another player? It's actually 2 Texas players. 40 seconds left. Bluey looking to dunk Aviator. Here comes Chip off the backboard. This one will come down. One more touch. He's dunked. Miller's not there, and he backflips. Is he going to get back in time here? Yes, he will, but another opportunity for Indiana Tech will just narrowly fall away. Nobody will defend. Chip is on the other corner. It's chaos. It's tragedy. I'm not sure what happened here for Indiana Tech.
Miller just couldn't keep the ball close in the corner. An Aviator dunks him. The ball goes mid, and there was no one back for Indiana Tech. They had put a sizable bet on scoring in that last sequence. But now they need 2 in the final 30. And off kickoff, they've got a decent opportunity to collect. Bluey off to the side is faked out by Aviator. Chip fields the ball at the side wall. Goes up to the back wall, and Texas sets up Miller, whose dunk on Aviator goes just slightly off to the side, and that should give Texas a 3-2 series lead.
Almost getting clip of the entire night right there at the end just for a statement game, but Texas right back on track. You win the first 2, you lose 2, but then you get right back on it. Take a win here in Game 5.
And it's funny, there has yet to be a game in this series where Texas has outshot Indiana Tech. Every game has been just mountains of pressure on the Texas defense, and yet they find ways to stop it. In some cases, it's becoming a little 50-50. You look at games 3 and 4 as examples of what happens when Texas isn't making every single save they need to. But games 1, 2, and 5, they were finding blocks like nobody's business despite great pressure from the Warriors. But Indiana Tech couldn't get it done, so now they need to win 2 in a row if they are going to keep the Great Lakes streak going. SEL lost earlier, but Texas in a good spot to get one back. Here's moving to Game 6.
My heart says Texas, but my heart also says Game 7, and Indiana Tech looking to push for that, but that flip reset a little too hard.
And now a low boost. Chip has to rush back into defense, and it does nicely. We got a piece of that ball on the attempted clear, but he redeems himself with a great stretch pass to Miller. But Aviator finds a clear out of the zone, looks to add on to it. There's no shot or anything like that. No real opportunities so far in the first 30 seconds.
If you're simply looking at styles of play, you said it best, Bepic, is that Texas, they haven't led Indiana Tech in shots in any game, and that's exactly the purpose, is that they don't need to. They are a more comfortable team.
Yep.
They don't have nearly as much solo mechanical ability as Bluey and Chip, in my opinion at least. But again, that all doesn't matter when you're playing defense this well and when you're finding the counterattacks as well. But you got to watch out, though, as Bluey might just open up an opportunity, but Aviator, a great read, and he's got more.
Chip is low on boost, has to take this ball over, and KJ doesn't let him. Gives Aviator some space, and Aviator must just love that part of the Indiana Tech back wall. It's his second double tap in close quarters, and that one just as clean as the last.
I mean, if you've got it read that well, then why not? If that ball was on target, Chip had it. He was blocking that corner so well, but it wasn't corner, and so unfortunately not much he can do in Texas. Right back on, well, I guess I was going to say their high horse, but I guess it's more of a bull over there.
Either way, in the lead in a game they can win. They claim this best of 7, but it's only a 1-goal lead. Indiana Tech, in the games that they've dropped, have looked in decent positions to make comebacks happen. Game 2 almost closed a 3-goal game down the previous game, and we're looking decent. It was a 2-goal lead for Texas, but Indiana Tech had a decent go at that comeback. And here, just trying to fight for possession, which Chip will win a battle, but not quite the war just yet. Aviator responds with a carry mid, and a 50-50 actually ends up taking away possession from Texas.
Once again, it is a major test for Indiana Tech and Texas as well. And last time we had this kind of narrow 1-goal lead, we saw Texas defense crumble. And so Indiana Tech, under the pressure, what are they going to do?
Well, pass together. Makes sense. Been playing well around one another. Chip and Bluey, the ones combining for that passing play clearance from the midfield line. Results in a couple of center balls, but Texan cars right in the middle, where they should be to defend shots on target. But here we go again, Bluey. Solo effort, this time stops the point of contact. KJ gets a toe on the ball. Miller tries to keep control and actually does well with 50-50 right there. So Indiana Tech get a double commit out of Texas, but still no goal to equalize.
Back-to-back double commits, and there's even a third there as well, but now it's 3 players up for Indiana Tech. KJ won't get a shot on. Benda 0 boost. Bluey looking top left. It's off. KJ will touch it off as well. Miller backboard to tie this one up. Bottom left, it's pushed wide. Bluey pitching. Can he find more? No, it's Aviator who, with barely any boost. Texas just simply fighting off of fumes right now. He'll try to get this out. He'll be bumped off. Bluey top left. He'll find it this time. Tie game.
Indiana Tech finally found their moment. That ball poked out mid thanks to a bump on Aviator from Chip, and Bluey, he's a flashy player, but he knows what to do with a simple pop shot on target. 1-1.
Well, here we go. 2 minutes left. Got Indiana Tech on their back foot. Both a lot in this game, but also literally in the series. But now, with some new life, what can they find in store? Texas looking to make sure that goal won't stunt them too much, but they're doing a good job of keeping the pressure as of now.
And Chip thought about sticking with that play, but had to let it go. Didn't have the boost funds to make that transaction. And Texas, with their newly found possession, find a couple of good shots and ultimately a second Aviator goal. The Longhorns are back out in front.
Well, that's exactly what you want to see. And again, who better than Aviator? 3 defenders in the net, and he finds the perfect spot to put it. Massive goal here with under 90 seconds remaining.
That's clean from Texas. Exactly what they needed heading into the final 90 seconds of Game 6. Put all the pressure on Indiana Tech to make the comeback happen. But pressure is something Indiana Tech can work with. And it's a couple of carries mid, but ultimately a Texas clear. A Benda follow-up that isn't the prettiest. So Chip and Miller get the Warriors back out in front.
Miller for a bump here. He'll clean it. Will another player is going to be bump traded. So that ball won't even be touched till the end there. Aviator looking for more. Dunked one. Out on net. KJ a little slow to this one. Chip backboard, slamming this one away. Possibly away, but here comes the Indiana Tech once again, throwing a lot of possession away. They've got to find more here, including the boost. Chip has absolutely nothing. Neither does Miller. Bluey's going to use all of it. Benda will get a beat here. Is there a shot opportunity? KJ faking, and Aviator was up. Bluey's got a counter. Chip has a 50. No, he's faked. Aviator staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Not concerned.
I cannot believe Aviator just did that. It might result in a goal. KJ couldn't get that double on target, but man, that's the difference between maybe a goal if Indiana Tech commit on that Aviator fake and what was Texas pressure, but a clear's been found, and double commit in the corner is not good for Texas, though Miller couldn't read that play perfectly, so It has to be done on 0 seconds. Indiana Tech, a decent opportunity, but they have to keep the ball up going backwards. Bluey pops the ball back to himself, and Texas is all over it. They end the series on their terms. A third goal in Game 6, a win in Game 6. And SEL clap back.
Well, how about Texas just mentally staying in that game? Really no concern there, even with the momentum shifting, where it was literally 2 in a row, and then 2 in a row once again. So this is kind of the preseason look that I would expect from a lot of these teams, but some very high highs here.
And as Aviator rushes to open the stream to hear me say his name, I'll talk about Indiana Tech. This is a new look roster. I think going into the fall, they have some sparkle. They're going to be a fun team to watch, especially once they get that chemistry down, because the solo plays were very good at times, and the follow-up stifled by Texas. Occasionally there were those 2 games in a row where the Warriors really took off, but once they find a rhythm together, I can't wait to see this team in Great Lakes.
Yeah, I mean, Bluey and Chip working together could be all sorts of things, and I'm sure we'll see them on land. I'm sure they'll do great things in Great Lakes, but once again, like we mentioned, Texas, an established team. They've been around the block more times than once, apparently, since you've been casting them for 4 straight years, but that consistency simply makes the difference. And of course, Aviator was the real difference maker in the end there with that incredible top left shot, but a really great performance from all 3 members, even with the sub.
Absolutely. And I think Texas is still ironing out who their starting lineup is going to be, but KJ looked good jumping in from the sub spot. Obviously, there are wrinkles to be ironed out, but that's a good starting point for the Longhorns. And Aviator was spectacular as usual. He is always the catalyst for their offense. And Bennett knows how to play around it. They've been doing it for a long time, as we've talked about. But Aviator, great work if you're in chat. I saw the viewer count pop up by 1, so I'm going to assume that's you coming here. He always wants me to say his name at the end of series, so good job, Aviator. 2 thumbs up from me, and a good win to get the SEL back on the board. It's 1-1 now, and TJ, our next series to break the tie is hopefully the banger we all hope it'll be, UTK versus Michigan State. I mean, these are 2 teams that were 1 or 2 series off of making summer series. This should be a good one coming up.
Yeah, I think this series that we just watched and the last series of the day are kind of sleeper series, but this one is easily on the top of the title card. So much incredible top-level talent, obviously on the side of Michigan State. I mean, you know what? We're probably going to talk about the rosters. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I love Mar. I love what that team does, but this UTK roster has a special place in my heart, and so I'm very excited to see what they do.
All right, well, that's coming up in just a little bit, the prime time spot on the first episode of Tuesday Night Lights and the 3rd edition of the SEL versus Great Lakes Rivalry Night. We're going to take a short break, probably about 10 minutes, before we have our 3rd series of the night coming up, so don't go too far, but make sure you fuel up, because this next one should be a long one. I'll see you there. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Lights, where we have our prime time matchup of the SEL versus Great Lakes Rivalry Night coming up. University of Tennessee at Knoxville versus Michigan State. Two teams, and we'll talk about this a lot, that were a series or two off of summer series. Like, they are that good, TJ, and they fight for the pride of their region. This best of 7 should be a good one.
Yeah, they're good enough to be gatekeepers at the highest level of CRL, and I mean, like you just mentioned, they have been right there at the door, and so I would imagine that this season they are geared with more passion than ever, and why not put them against each other to see whose passion is more?
Well, I'm excited. Like, breaking this down, it's an even match, I feel like, with two teams bringing in new-ish recruits. I mean, Crisp joined UTK in January, Tybu's joining for this fall, and then Michigan State, usually with Morvu and Opbomb, who are the new dynamic duo for Sparty, but actually Gribster, or Gribitron, in the game tonight is subbing in for Morvu, I believe. So, a true Michigan State, not at full strength, but Gribster is still a phenomenal recruit as well, and was teammates with Opbomb in high school. So, shouldn't be too much of a knock on Michigan State's skill. And, I mean, UTK, Tybu has been such an incredible infusion. They were one loss to Shawnee State away from making summer series. Keeping Joe Bro from last season. He's pretty solid as well. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Excited to see how the dynamics of these teams have changed, because obviously they are so incredible, but they also didn't make CCA summer. And so I worry, as Joe Bro is throwing jabs at me in the game chat right now, but I worry kind of if they've changed a lot with their play styles, given the fact that they were, and I believe are, at the level to compete in something like CCA summer, but couldn't make it. And Bepic, there's only one way to tell.
Well, let's do this thing. It's Champions Field in the third series of a Night Lights evening. That does not happen very often. That's how special this series is. They've matched up once before on Monday Night Lights in the first SEL versus Great Lakes night, but that evening, there were some lag issues, controller issues. I think it was Rocket Man on Michigan State. So they weren't at full strength like they are-ish right now. Opbomb, absolutely an infusion of strength, making this play happen himself.
How about that? Uncharacteristic miss there for Joe Bro. I would imagine this is probably a warm-up game for these teams, but hey, if you're on the good side of that, getting the early goals, not much to complain about if you're a Sparty fan.
Off kickoff, Crisp has been bumped. That leaves Tybu in an easy spot, I guess. He just dives right in, takes a 50-50, keeps it neutral, and finally lets UTK set up their offense, though Opbomb's going to try and stop that, and he's very good at that, but Jobro takes a decent 50-50. Ball is out to the side where Gribitron fields it, carries the length of the field almost, nearly scores, and sets a knock to score, but no second goal for Sparty.
Tybu, though, full field. We've seen him do some pretty incredible things, but under the UTK banner is a new look for him, and there's a lot of momentum and a lot of hype surrounding this team, and this is why, is because all three of these players very capable of stepping up, very capable of being leaders, but we have yet to see that at the highest level. So far, some good looks, but nothing too crazy.
This is a decent chance for UTK, but it does go by the wayside. Good defense going the other way. Opbomb setting himself up for a 50-50 with Joe Bro. And as I was saying, this is a rematch that I was looking for a long time, as that one I felt like we were robbed. The original matchup, Michigan State was having issues. It was a 4-0 for UTK with Shaka in place of Tybu way back when. But every single time I tried to schedule it, it was like one team could make it, the other couldn't. One team could make it, the other couldn't. And now we finally get the full strength, again-ish, matchup between these two teams. And like I said, Gribster is up to snuff to be on the starting lineup for Michigan State. And so far, so good for the Spartans, keeping their one-goal lead intact. But Volunteers slowly gaining themselves pressure in offense.
I mean, with this much talent, I wouldn't want to show up to the match either. But both these teams obviously here to prove something. There has been a long break since they played last. And again, like you mentioned, this is finally the first time where we get a almost even series. I'll say even enough. But obviously I'm leaning towards the UTK side here, so we'll see. But so far, again, Michigan State, even with the sub, they look very controlled.
Yeah, they really do, and their counterattacks look fairly lethal, especially when Opbomb's on the ball. It's to be expected. I mean, Opbomb is the addition that a lot of people are talking about at Michigan State. Led them to a top 2 in the Great Lakes Summer Showdown a couple of weekends ago. They looked very solid throughout the tournament, but fell just short in the playoff bracket. UTK, like we talked about, 1 series away from making Summer Series, and then some time off. They also won a Monday Night Lights tournament that Bepic in final form put on. It was back in June, so that time off, I don't know if it's going to do them well or do them poorly, TJ. It looks like they're still shaking off some rust.
For some odd reason, it seems like almost all of collegiate esports was on vacation in July, but Knock has been here, done that 2-0.
That's clean. Knock wins that ball in the UTK corner, beats Taibu, and dishes on nobody left on the goal line. 2-0 Michigan State. Hot start.
About this start for Michigan State, and like you mentioned, I think hot is even an understatement here. I mean, again, looking at just pure, I'm going to go off RLCS performance just because I like to talk about the variability of these players. I mean, obviously Chris, Jobro, and Taibu have all had their very fair share, and Michigan State hasn't been in too many quals. I think Knock, I believe, is the highest placing, with Opbomb most recently having some of his best placements, but I mean, looking at that alone, things are still even here, and I'm very surprised to see Michigan State with a sub play this nice.
And typically for UTK, it's a little bit of copium for their camp. They are a Game 1 warm-up type of team in series like this. I've watched them in fairly even strength sets start off slowly. So that could be the case here. Michigan State, though, doing anything but. Thought bomb on the ball. They're still dangerous as Gribbs gets a free pass from UTK. That is a bad ball from Crisp in the corner, and Gribster cleans up.
Well, how about that? Not only does he clean up, he places that ball really well. I mean, that is narrowly away from both Taibu and Chris. I mean, very, very high-level players. And so, how about Grib stepping up to the plate?
Well, 3-0 is what he makes it, and with 60 seconds left, how Michigan State's been playing, that lead is fairly safe, unless Crisp can do something here. Drops the ball down near side. Jobro follows it up, but Gribitron a big clear for the UTK end, and he just beats Taibu to that ball. And that's not good.
Yeah, it's very, very bad, I would say, as Taibu was reading a high shot here, and he just simply didn't turn quick enough. I don't even know if he saw Grib, but regardless, it's 4-0.
Slow start for UTK, fast one for Michigan State. I think most of us are looking towards Game 2 to be the point of change for this series. Because if this continues, I'm going to be sad. Like, if Michigan State just ends up stomping UTK, I'm gonna be sad, not because I'm a UTK fan, but because I've been hyping this series up so much in my mind that it needs to go to like at least Game 6. I'll be disappointed otherwise, but hey, Michigan State keep playing like a cohesive unit that they have shown so far in Game 1, and then UTK's got a challenge on their hands.
I mean, more than a challenge, if this is what it's going to be like for this entire series. But again, you have mentioned this, UTK is definitely not a Game 1 team, and especially with a newer roster, I think that effect only gets a little worse. So I'm not going to try and jump to conclusions, and this is exactly why, is that it might have taken almost 5 minutes, but a great goal comes out from the 2 highest ranked players, arguably, in the lobby.
I mean, that's good to see. UTK getting the board late. It's a nice team play. The shot was clean. All right, you lost Game 1, you move into Game 2, figure it out in the little break that we get. And the kickoff strat in the late goings, maybe get something else on the board here in the late stages of Game 1. I don't mind it, you know, play the momentum game, but Michigan State, they were playing that from the get-go. 1-0, Michigan State.
I mean, you have to take what you can get at the end there, especially when you simply just got beat that game.
Yep.
I mean, that wasn't like a really poor performance from UTK other than the one goal that was given to Grib, but that goal even really wasn't given. I mean, it was still placed really well, even if it was an easier shot. So Michigan State, they are just simply playing the field, and the cards are in their favor as of right now. But again, UTK, a team that always has been slow, so I'm wondering if they're going to stick to the style and maybe mechanically pick it up, or if there's something else here that's going to change in Game 2.
Well, talking about Grib finding that goal out of the UTK corner, I was thinking when he was slotting in for Morvu tonight that it was going to be a bit of a struggle at times. Like, I watched him play for, I always confuse the Michigan State colors, but the B team, whether it's green or white, and it was sluggish at times from Grib, but he has looked so good so far. Has filled the role perfectly that he has to play, and right there, a great 50 to get knocked back in the play, off bomb to challenge, and Michigan State to defend comfortably.
Well, you know what, Bepic? Maybe there's a world where Grib has been contesting for that #1 spot because he seems to fit perfectly there. And that would definitely be quite the revelation for tonight. But how about Knock slamming this one away? But Taibu catching this well. He has one reset, looking for more. He's over Grib. Is there a pinch over another? Op bomb, no boost. So now Knock is forced to go. Who's basically last man back here. But again, I mean, really, why would you rather have anybody else on that ball as Knock just completely controls the pace and he makes his way past the whole UTK side?
Now it's Grib's turn. Try his hand, but has Knock in tow to help out. And the first minute has come and gone. It really has felt like it has been majority UTK playing offense, just kind of setting up camp in the Michigan State end, and they will continue to do so here if they can get through Knock. Taibu, kind of get through Knock, sets up Jobro for a shot that's just shy of being on target. Michigan State surviving that first attack. We'll see if they can survive the second. It's a one-on-one. Taibu taking a shot around Knock, but the net as well.
UTK, obviously the defending champs of the SEL, and that was mainly due to their mechanical presence and their speed of play, like that opportunity from Chris. But when you finally find a team who has seemed to match that equally, what are you going to do? And so far, Michigan State, they've read every play in the air. They've kept a lot of possession. They're seeming to find each other here in the midfield as Opbomb will slam one backboard. And UTK, I haven't seen a lot of positives, and Grib will add on to that list of negatives. 1-0.
It's just a miss. I mean, Chris couldn't get back to this ball and was too far behind it. Jopro trusted his teammate. I mean, rightfully so. I would expect Chris to come up with that touch, but Michigan State prepared for the eventuality that UTK has a misstep in defense, and again, punish that mistake.
5-1. Oh my, almost make it. You know what? Make it 6-1. That's the current run that Michigan State is on, and I'm shocked here.
I mean, Jobro got demoed, almost got back to that, but Grib put that ball in the perfect spot, got it around the respawning defender, and Michigan State off kickoff, finding a 2-goal run.
Oh my lord, this series continues to hopefully live up to the hype here, as I would imagine that we'll maybe see something similar to Texas Indiana Tech, where we see some comebacks in game 3 and 4 here, but UTK, I mean, this doesn't look like a game where they can just mechanically find their way out here.
No, we're going to need job security Jabrosin to step up pretty soon if UTK is going to get out of this game 2 alive, as they've been struggling so far. Michigan State is playing with a pace that's forcing mistakes in defense out of the Volunteers, and Spartans, they've been playing a lot of defense themselves, but they've been withstanding plenty of pressure, just getting a toe on the ball when they need to, playing the ball slow when they need to, and, well, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and Michigan State made theirs.
I mean, Taibu had the double here in what I thought was about to be a pretty nuts play, but, I mean, look at the amount of respect that Michigan State was still giving Taibu there, and, I mean, hey, sometimes that happens.
It looked bad on first glimpse, but I would have probably jumped as well, seeing Taibu get that flip in hand, but he mind-gamed the whole defense and will cut the Michigan State lead in half. Chris will try his hand at really eliminating that lead. Jobro's shot sets up Taibu, and just like that, we're tied up again.
Michigan State, that's just crucial, but Chris, my lord, what a pass, and all 3 members of Michigan State not ready for that one, and just an unfortunate clear attempt from who I believe was Grib, and just like that, tie game.
And now, hopefully that means UTK is activated, because those are the plays we were watching when they were making their summer series runs, when they were winning the SEL, things of that sort. Now, Michigan State, they can obviously keep up with that pace, but now they have been challenged here on Champions Field. We'll see what they do in response. Grib beaten here by Chris. That ball is laid down right in Opbomb's doorstep. That'll be a clear out towards Knock. That is somewhat exposed, but Knock couldn't get around the ball to turn in the third.
Opbomb gonna try and relieve a little bit of pressure here for Michigan State. He'll do more than that. He might just grab the corner, and that he will. Is there a pass to store up the ceiling? It's a little rush. Knock not there in time, but that ball's given right to him. Jobro gonna try and find some work on the sidewall, but Opbomb doing a great job. Is he gonna bump one? He'll miss the bump. And what would have been a great open net opportunity won't come through. And UTK, not a lot of boost here, but they're making it work.
Knock off the ceiling. Doesn't quite get a second touch before the defender hops into the play, but it's enough to get Michigan State cooking in offense. Up bomb, 40 boosts, hunts Taibu down, but it's too late to the party. Taibu clears, finds Crisp, who sets up Joe Bro with 50-50. It's a light shot, saved by Knock, but might set up UTK with offense. Crisp goes back wall, and Grib is right there.
I mean, it continues to be just back and forth. I feel like my eyes continue to dart left and right in this series as this ball is flying in the midfield, flying on the backboard. Everything is moving so quick, and these teams, though, not concerned, not worried. This is the pace they want to play at, and both teams really not concerned about it. But now Crisp finally slowing things down. Reset under one, trying to dunk another. Knock with 0 boost, and Grib will bump him into it. A great clear from Michigan State.
We'll play the slow game, waiting for something to happen here in the waning moments of game 2. Up bomb, not playing any kind of slow game. It's not in his nature. Challenge is quick. Puts up Grib for a touch off the sidewall, but UTK field the ball in the infield, clear the zone, find a demo, and could find themselves one last opportunity to regulation. That ball's up. Taibu finishes the play. So many explosions, but the most important one is in Michigan State's net. 3-2 UTK complete the comeback.
When you have talent like UTK, you simply have to be selfless, and Crisp deciding to go for the bump instead of the shot was exactly that. A crucial time for that one to come through, and Taibu getting the hat trick this game.
Oh, that was electric. What a play. I mean, that was majestic, watching that play develop with the demo to open up space in the corner, Crisp abandoning the solo play to go for a demo in the air as well, and the finishing touch from Taibu was perfect. Oh my word. I think we're back after a slow start out of UTK. Michigan State kept the same pace. They looked good in game 2, but now they have to upgrade again as UTK just made a statement.
Yeah, and I'm going to argue that it was a stolen statement. I think Michigan State continued to look really good in that game, but UTK simply come through and find 3 in a row there. Or at least I believe that was how it felt.
Yep, it was 3 in a row.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was a regardless crazy swing of momentum. And UTK trying to continue that. Taibu's redirect, a solid angle, but just a little slow. And now Michigan State, what are they willing to fight for here in game 3?
Grib shut down by Taibu regardless of what they're trying to fight for. Op bomb takes a 50-50 and he's beaten. It's a bit of a change of momentum, it feels like. How is Joe Bro upfield demoing? Like, he knows Chris is about to just dominate that 50-50. Took it from Grib. It wasn't even 50-50. Grib just gave that up, and Joe Bro demoed the last man perfectly.
I hope you all picked up on your summer reading because UTK did that tenfold. I'm not sure how Crisp manages to read that. It was a messed up opportunity off the ceiling for Michigan State, but still, finding the exact timing was awesome, but bomb blocks Grib, so that won't be an easy shot. Knock off the ceiling, he'll beat Taibu, but Joe, using every little boost that he has, try and get over, and he'll get over too.
Joe Bro's looking for more demos, and I love the commentary from Kung in chat saying freshman year Joe Bro is back. And I bring up this story all the time, but the first time I met the UTK boys, it was Agonized Shaka and Joe Bro at the time. All they were talking about is how good they are at demos and how Joe Bro is the king of aerial demos. And it's not exactly aerial demos that he found so far in this game to get them in the lead, but UTK used to be very fun to watch when it came to the physical game, and it's working out right now.
I mean, I'll cut off that right there. I won't say used to it all. If anything, this team has just continued to get more electric, and even with the removal of certain players, their spirit has stayed the same. They play a high-pressure game, they get all the bumps, and they continue to be mechanical as ever, as that shot narrowly saved.
Oh, now Joe's in the corner, setting up Chris the 50-50. Knox somehow prepared for that shot low on boost, makes a great save. Now out to the side, Grib has no boost to chase that ball down, so it's an easy center for Joe, and he slams a shot top right. 2-0 UTK now on a 5-goal run.
How about this shot? What an angle between 2 from Joe Bro. An incredible shot, and that's a crucial one at that. But still, 3 minutes left to play. UTK riding the wave.
Yeah, we know no leads are safe in this series right now. What happened in game 2 with what we know Michigan State is capable of, that's a flip reset pop and a half. Doesn't work out though. UTK still find it clear, and it's up to Grib out of his own corner to find some space for Sparty.
Grib trying to work his way past 2. That flip reset won't fall, but it'll open up the door for Up Bomb. But Crisp, he plays his role in this team. No matter who he's with, he continues to be a menace. No matter who has the ball, no matter what half they're on, as Taibu will continue to do the same. Crisp, corner, Up Bomb though uncontested. Jobro though already up. Not looking for net, just trying to keep some pressure, and he does a great job to open up the door for Taibu, who looks for a bump here, but Grib, a great touch.
Crisp has control, gets a flip reset. Tried to leave that ball for Jobro, but Bomb gets a great read. A clear as well for Michigan State. Taibu playing keep away right now off the ceiling. It's insane. It sets up Crisp for an air dribble. Pass to Taibu, off the back wall. Jobro misses the ball completely, and Michigan State will be able to clear.
Well, I mean, we say that, but just like that, Chris gets the ball, and that pass is going to go a little too far forward. But Michigan State really starting to struggle in terms of these counterattacks. They're not finding anything because there's players on top of them, players below them, players coming out of nowhere. I mean, what can you do against an attack like that, especially when the attack is actually their defense?
Well, Bomb catches, can't get through Crisp, however. So on the side wall, Nichols got plenty of boost to work with and tried to use the ceiling to get that ball on target or in a passing position off the back wall, but UTK still find a way to stop. Michigan State is trying and nearly put a worldy of a shot on target, but not even that one could clear the near side. Jobro faking it for Crisp. That shot finds gold. UTK just continue to exercise control in Game 3.
It is look after look, and no matter what set of eyes they have on the net, they continue to find the back of it. What a shot and what an angle.
Yeah, that's 6 straight unanswered for Tennessee. Michigan State needs something soon. I mean, their offense is getting stifled. The Volunteers have upped their pace on both sides of the ball, and Michigan State haven't found an answer to that just yet. And, well, they finally do as I'm saying that. A little helter-skelter from the Volunteers there. Puts it on the back wall, and that touch, I think, from Chris was the first domino to fall.
Yeah, not Bomb clearing out the way, at least forcing Jobro to go back. Chris had a chance, but not a lot of boost, and so, hey, still a chance here for Michigan State.
To the side, Crisp lets that ball go for a second and still gets it back to Taibu. 50-50, finds the ball to knock. We'll see what he can do with it. He's up Bomb mid and Grib right in front of him. They combine for Up Bomb to gain a little bit of access to the ball. Michigan State, it's just struggled just to start up possession, let alone find themselves a goal. They'll looking pretty brilliant right there, putting a hard shot towards the UTK net, but the Volunteers have it red. They clear again. They waste more time.
Yeah, and you can tell that Michigan State is just literally every bit of boost they had was going towards the other half, so it was a matter of time before the no goalie approach kind of started to backfire, and Jobro, a great counter goal from him.
Fair enough. Michigan State, it looked like they were finally getting themselves going in offense, but then UTK just counter, put together a beautiful pass. The shot's easy, and even though Grib kind of had that play read, like he was out of position, well, late to the ball. I don't know if it's his fault he was out of range to save that play, but he jumped so early to try and block that shot, and it still wasn't enough. Michigan State down 4-1 here, and something like down 2-1 in this set. They started off very, very well, but now need to regain a little bit going into Game 4.
Chris might just be able to find one more here, looking for a pretty special fake play, but for now, Jobro will get a stab at it off the ceiling, read by Grib, and it's a great read, but again, too little, too late, and this time UTK is on the favoring side, and what a change of events in these last 2 games.
I mean, every time I see UTK drop a Game 1 in the kind of fashion that they dropped here, I always bring up the point of how they're a slow starting team. It's one of my repetitive narratives about them. But, I mean, it's true. So often, they look bad in Game 1, and then out of nowhere, find a rhythm at some point in Game 2. And then from there, we're only halfway to a UTK where Michigan State still has time and talent in order to come back in this best of 7. But I mean, the turnaround is real for Tennessee. They found a rhythm. The passes are great. The shots are mostly good. In defense, it's mostly good. And that's enough to win games against a very good Michigan State roster.
And I would say what hurts even more for Michigan State is that they had their looks and they have had their chances. But UTK, I mean, it's a reversal of Game 1. They are playing the better game of Rocket League. And there wasn't a lot of fraudulent goals in that game. And so for Michigan State, what's up next?
We'll see. I mean, Opbomb is the guy you look to start things off for Michigan. Just get anything going, but he's been stifled for the most part. And UTK have not. What a setup by Crisp and Joe Bro cleaning things up. That's the style of Rocket League that UTK play when they're at their best.
Yeah, 1, perfect bottom right. 2, how does Joe read the rebound coming out of the net, not even going to the side of it? I mean, that was an incredible play given the very, very short notice. And now Taibu's got the mid boost. UTK continuing to roll.
Well, not the greatest of first touches for Taibu. Fair enough. He'll give up control to Grib, who just bangs that ball down the field. Joe will get back for it. Kind of lays the ball to Opbomb, and that's a dangerous prospect, but the flick was flubbed. It wasn't fully under his wing to put a strong shot on target. So UTK, they get themselves out of dodge and back into play an offense for a second.
I mean, the amount of trust that UTK has in each other, from their positioning to the bumps to the shots, I mean, you can tell in the way they position it. They are 1,000% calming everything exactly correctly to the spot, including Taibu to Crisp. And Taibu might find a dunk here. Jobro shot opportunity. Knock, what a read, though, in Michigan State. They're picking up the pace a little bit, but UTK still continuing to put on just so much pressure, and they're not out of the woods just yet.
Grib has nothing in the tank, and I think Crisp realized that. Went for car over ball. It worked out, found a demo, and Taibu should win the race to this one. Then Grib stopped the ball in the corner. Opbomb takes over, but with Jobro and Taibu all over him. No space allowed. Until now, Knock, no boost in the tank. He got a little bit of room to work with into offense, and he was able to flip the field for Michigan State, but that seems to be it.
Crisp looking, solo play, flip reset. He's just trying to keep some possession here, but he accidentally gives it up. And now this is going to be a great shot for Michigan State if Grip can get it. I like the opportunity, I like the look, but the demo was even better. And even though a player's not off the field, he's for sure off the ball.
Bomb, 20 boost in hand. Just kind of pokes it off the ceiling mid. You should consider just fighting to keep possession at the moment. Jobro and Taibu fighting to take it away. They find Grib, though. Crisp hung back on the goal line. Found a great challenge win. It's UTK out of defense and into the offensive zone again. It's rinse and repeat Rocket League right now for both sides, it feels like. Michigan State struggles, generate offensive opportunities. UTK find a clear, and well, either they set themselves up in offense or Michigan State finds a half a counterattack back the other way, and here UTK set themselves up.
I will say that UTK have left themselves in a dangerous amount of 2v1s and even a few 3v1s, but the difference maker there is that UTK doesn't care. They have continued to win those 50s. They have continued to find possession through it all, and that's been the most impressive part of this series. Now Taibu, look, he's going to do it again here, right in front of his own net here, and once again, Michigan State, you have to convert.
You don't often see the shoot on your own net so your teammate can save the ball and help get the ball away strategy. But it worked right there. Michigan State, though, holding the possession very nicely. They have found some access to the midfield line. It has, I think, flipped the field domination numbers in their favor. No, not quite. It's 51-49 at the moment, but for how this game started, that is a good sign for Michigan State. If they can get the ball out of their defensive end now and follow it up, it looks like they'll be able to. Jobro, they got 50-50 with Grib, and Crisp is ready for where that ball goes. He gets the ball away, sets it up for Jobro, and that's 2-0.
I mean, I was about to comment on the ghost touch, but you know what? Maybe the Rocket League gods wanted Jobro to absolutely slot it top left, because why not, right? An incredible play from Jobro and a crucial 2-goal lead here.
And Michigan State has been doing such a good job holding on to possession, rotating back until the one moment where they look human in defense, and UTK is right there to score. The Spartans are struggling just to get on the board at the moment. One goal in the last game, a shutout being pitched by UTK in this one, and in defense, it feels like they play so well until the one moment where they make a mistake, and the UTK Volunteers are right there to put a good opportunity on target.
And finally, we see a glimpse for Michigan State, and here comes another one, a three-man passing play just narrowly blocked, and once again, it does not matter. UTK have been in complete control, having a firm grasp on anything that the Spartans have been trying to do, and once again, with a minute left here, Michigan State really has had nothing to show for it.
That pop to Grib will give him a pop right back. Jobro plays to the side wall. Chris plays back wall for a double. won't be allowed it, both by his boost tank and by Nock making a great read. Michigan State doing a decent job. I mean, UTK, they've only found 6 shots this game. Michigan State have saved half of them, so in defense, it's a good game. Michigan State, they just have a goose egg on the board that's haunting them at the moment. This is a somewhat manageable position. 20 seconds, 2 goals, they can do that, but they have to do that. It's about execution at this point.
An even harder pill to swallow here for Michigan State is that you really aren't playing that bad.
Yeah.
2 goals given against a squad like this is, I would say, a win. But the issue is that you're not making up for it on offense, and you're also, your defensive opportunity's just been kind of all over the place here. So Michigan State, they're falling off the cliff, and they're looking for anything to hold on to.
Well, they have to hold on to something soon, because we're moving into Game 5 now with UTK on match points. They could take the lead on the evening for the SEL, make it 2-1 overall in the conference v. conference standings. But Michigan State, I mean, it's been getting worse and worse. It started with the 3-goal spree. UTK went on in Game 2 to make that 2-goal comeback happen on 0 seconds. Then after that, it was a 4-1 thrashing UTK gave them. Then 2-0, a little bit more controlled, but nothing. Giving Michigan State 3 shots on target, no goal to show for it. They have to turn the ship around, and I'm not sure the wind's pointing in their direction.
Well, so far, our title card match looking to white out Michigan State off of it completely if they cannot find any sort of momentum in this game. And based on the momentum, I wonder what's next. This might be an open counterattack, though. Knockoffs for the backboard instead, and Taibu, an easy save for him.
That's a nice touch as well. The counter by Crisp. He gets the ball into the blue box, but it's passing play Michigan State to counter the counter. Nice little chess match developing in the opening moments of Game 5. Crisp, though, is the queen at times on the board. Nearly got through Nock, but Michigan State continue to make good reads on their goal line when they're in position.
UTK must be cheating, because I think they have 3 queens. I think they're moving however they want. I think they're taking whatever they want, and they are simply controlling every living part of the kingdom that they are building here. As Taibu off the ceiling, is there a player down below? It's Crisp, but he will not be able to find a shot. But that double commit, a pretty big one out of Michigan State.
Bomb's been beaten. Crisp plays mid, but Gribb, nice positioning. Saw that play developing from a mile away. Michigan State could have gained possession off the back of it, but Taibu got through Nock and Oppbaum, leaving Gribb again alone to field possession for the Spartans, which he alone can't do. Needs help. Nock steps up, the ball over the midfield line, but that's as far as Michigan State will get. Dobro steps up, claims possession back for UTK, but even that is short-lived.
Crisp, a great read on Gribb. An accidental double commit, though. It's the first time we've seen a UTK mishap in at least a few games here, and this is a great dunk. Knocks an awkward spy, and Gribbitron has to come in to very narrowly get that one away. Now he might have a shot opportunity, but Crisp has the boost advantage, doesn't get the 50. He has to be careful here, and he almost gives one away on a platter, but now he's got to watch out for Nock, and he'll save it. Crisp turning nothing into something.
Oh, you want to talk about chess? Crisp right there had to use all of his brain backwards on his back wall to time that initial challenge and then get back for the subsequent save. That was a beautiful display of near post rocket. He got himself into a mess and then got himself out of it. And we're at the halfway point of Game 5 here. Michigan State and their defense holding UTK silent so far. This is much better from the Spartans, as they are the team that look like they're more in the driver's seat here than UTK does, which I don't know if you can call either team really in the driver's seat at the moment as we go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, we're in a test car. There's 2 wheels, and I can't tell who's on the pedals here. As now Oppbaum looks for some sort of 50. Jobro up next. Can he get past 1? Actually, it's the same guy. It's Gribb, part 2. And now Jobro accidentally cuts off his teammate. It's now Oppbaum. Is he going to solo play? Yes, he will. Off the ceiling, looking for the double. Dropping it down, but the teammate is not there. Wait, it's Gribb. 3rd man all the way up. And now Nock gets a chance for it. Got that corner boost, and he might have more in the tank here. 2 minutes left.
Oh.
Shot on net. Gribb to take the lead. No, it's Oppbaum with the redirect. 2 minutes left. MSU finally find life.
I mean, that had to be it. Michigan State. Like, if they don't score during that sequence where they have shot after shot, great setups, good opportunities, and no boost on the Volunteers side, they weren't scoring at all in this game, maybe the rest of the series. And they do capitalize on the opportunity that they gave themselves and now have momentum that they're trying to ride. I said there was no wind in their sails pointed in the direction they had to go, but now they've got a breeze. 90 seconds left, and it has to turn into a gust if they're going to stay alive.
UTK fighting that direction, seeing what they can find here as what has been a game as rough as the Seven Seas, but Knock gonna slam this one away. Jobro trying to stall out. He's got to stay on this ball, but Knock, a great touch. Hot bomb looking. They're gonna go backboard here. Grib might be trying to find a shot. Taibu, though, a massive beat, and Knock with no boost has to give this one away. Now Crisp looking on net here. It's a powerful shot, but it's too easy of a save. 60 seconds left in UTK trying to get out of this one. Champions, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Crisp shot really high. This shot middle, or sorry, a pass, I mean, as Obbomb will cut that one off beautifully, and Michigan State survives for now.
Now Obbomb and Taibu jostling there on the back wall. Taibu ends up winning that little bout there. He's able to get out with a couple of flip resets, give Jobro a chance to shoot, but it is stopped early on by Knock in defense. Jobro, second opportunity goes high. That's up Chris for a top right corner ball. We're tied up again. Oh, pure entertainment. High quality Rocket League. This is what I was hoping for.
Putting the Vol in revolutionary. Tie game here, 30 seconds left. It is absolute perfection in the placement of the pass to the placement of the shot. We are somehow tied here, Bepic.
Please get us to overtime. I'm begging these teams for just a little bit extra in Game 5. 1-1 at the moment. UTK looking for a lead, but Taibu's denied by Grib, who now has a little bit of opportunity down the sideline. It's an off bomb, but he's going to opt for boost instead of ball. As Crisp had full access to that play. Now Demo up front, slows down the defense, gives Jobro access to the Michigan State net, and UTK storm in front.
It's a smart bomb from Hot Bomb, but that is just so unlucky. The physics of the game push him back instead of through the Demo, and he's just completely out of position. 11 seconds left for UTK.
2-1, Michigan State needs something now, lest this series is over way sooner than it should be. Grib backing up, can't get a second touch. So it's knocking off bomb, starting us off on 0 seconds, and it is Jobro trying to end it. Taibu put a shot mid, and that ball is grounded. UTK win 4-1. Michigan State gave them a go there at the end.
Wow. Shock and awe here, Bepic. I am very surprised at how quickly that series managed to get away. But Michigan State, they were so close there at the end.
They were. I mean, the talent is there. We saw what Michigan State is capable of. And I'm about to make a comment that I don't want to come across as a slight to Gribster, but I wonder if Morvu was in, if this was the full Michigan State lineup, if it had been a little bit longer of a series, because Grib at time was left in some tough situations where he was alone in defense, where Knock and Oppbaum were up front, it gets cleared by UTK, and Grib has to try and get possession back from Michigan State, and he just couldn't at times. But, I mean, Grib, he's a freshman, he's got plenty of time to develop. He'll be a starter on the A team eventually. I can guarantee you that. But UTK, all starters right now. And they looked the part in like the second half of game 2 all the way through the end.
Yeah, I mean, UTK here in the Twitch chat, and they looked incredible. They obviously always are a team that knows how to have a good time. And even under pressure, they find that 2-goal. It didn't have to go to overtime. They found those 2 goals in the span of the last minute. It was absolutely crucial. It was incredible, and that is what this team is capable of.
That was a banger of a series. Even though it was like 4 game wins in a row for Tennessee, that was still a banger of a series. What's up, Crisp? How you doing? Jobro too. Guys, thanks for playing. I love watching you watch. On to CRL next. Like, if they don't have actual CRL in the fall, I'm going to host it, like, just so I can watch you guys qualify and do whatever you got to do in the East. But, TJ, I know you got to step away, But we got one last series tonight that you got a little bit of a insight into, I think, with Buds at GSU playing at Nichols College. Do you know anything about the new look Buds roster after Dylan defected to Kennesaw?
Oh boy. I mean, I got family ties there for the Buzz at GSU. I mean, they brought in Rose, who is a player who I believe was originally at Bruton Parker, and then found his way to GSU. I mean, I met him in person. He's a great guy. He's an incredible kid, and he's an incredible Rocket League player. So even though they lose Dylan, I think that Rose will be able to fill those shoes fairly well. Now, granted, they'll work the kinks out, but I have a lot of high hopes for that team led by Monk, of course.
All right, exciting series coming up to cap off the first episode of Tuesday Night Lights and the third edition of the SEL versus the Great Lakes rivalry night. Buds at GSU versus Nichols College. This really should be an electric nightcap to what has been an electric evening. But we say farewell to TJ, but we say stick around for the next series. Coming up in just about 20 minutes time, I'll play some old MNL clips in the meantime to keep you guys occupied. But I'll see you in a little bit. Confidence, and if they're putting up 7 goals against you, it's going to be tough to stop them going forward, because now they feel unlocked. They can go for redirects, they can go for crazy demo plays.
We have Mar.
Mar is back. Okay,
he's alive, ladies and gentlemen. Call up the search party,
and we'll see if he joins the pitch. Rocketman and Knock have both joined, and Mar has joined as well. Okay, it's basically just a game advantage, Bub, for UTK, as we can now really start the best of 7 with Mar in the lineup.
Nah, it's fine, Michigan State. They don't need that game. We're underway here in game 2. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Joe Bro and Mar kick us off as it goes back into the Michigan State corner where Rocketman booms it downfield. Now, Knock straight to the middle for Mar, almost the instant impact from the man who was missing in game 1 for Michigan State.
What a story that would have been. And Mar is pestering Crisp there in the corner, but Crisp still gets through everyone. And despite the Mar buff, UTK picks up right where they left off.
It's just an early commit from Rocketman as the third man, and UTK know how to deal with that. Just get it around him, get it to the middle. That's probably the worst man to have in that position, too, if you're Michigan State, to see Crisp the one with the ball. 1-0 UTK early on as here comes Mar. Flip reset. He goes underneath. It's loose out in front, but Shaka steers it aside for now. Knock with the 50. Now Rocketman. This one will drop down in front. Crisp clears it away to the side for now. He's got a second touch. It is Knock to the backboard. Demo comes out. Is Rocketman there? He was, but Joe Bro was faster, and now Mar once more. One touch. Can he get 2? He'll get the dunk. Now Knock playing the corner bounce. Into the air we go. He tries to go around Joe Bro. Doesn't quite work out for him. Rocketman called into action here. He might go for the bump on Joe Bro. No, he'll go for the ball in the 50s all the way back out to Crisp, who goes to the backboard, and UTK will break out for now.
You can see the instant impact, though, for Michigan State. That was a stint of offense that I don't think Sparty got outside of, like, the first 30 seconds of the game. Like, they controlled that possession so well. Better reads, better on-the-ball presence, but you can't be given Crisp space like that. No one put a hand up, and Crisp uses that to take a shot and set up Joe Bro for an easy follow.
What's the old saying, Bepic? Hand down, man down. Mar was down. Rocket Man was left alone on the goal line, and that's just too much room for Joe Bro. He will bear that every single time. 3:42 to go,
What?
And it's 3-0.
There is no way.
You can't make this stuff up, right? Joe Bro has 3 goals on 3 shots, picking up right where he left off in the last game. Are you what?
They sent 2! They sent 2 on the diagonal kickoffs, and they score a goal off of it. That's some, like, European RLCS kickoff strats that we saw a whole lot of over the weekend, and UTK is using it to extend their lead.
Oh, that's a beautiful pass, but Mar target. Michigan State, one good look to get him back in it. Not happening quite yet. Rocket Man out in front. Joe Bro just sitting in the net waiting, and Crisp, a beautiful touch. You get it around and put pressure on. He'll go off the corner, out to the mid. Michigan State not rotating back to net quick enough. Joe Bro, 4 for 4 in game 2.
Joe Bro's feeling it. He's got another Texas-sized hat trick. Are you kidding me? He's just hitting everything right now.
We're not even 2 minutes in.
That's why it's so important to start strong against UTK, because once they're rolling, once they believe that they can hit every single shot, get every single flip reset against you, they probably are, because they're going for all of that, and they're all capable of hitting that sort of thing. So Michigan State, they got to do the same thing. They got to find a way to stop the bleeding. They got to find a way to make sure they're spaced properly in defense, because they have given up so much off of double commits like that.
I mean, right now, I hate to say it, but if you're Michigan State, rotate back quicker. Don't worry about the fact that you need 4 right now. Just find a way long-term to stabilize what's going wrong here. And I think the big issue I've seen so far, Bepic, is they're just not getting back in time. Why not? It's not 5 for 5. It's 5 for 6 for Joe Bro. He's got another.
All right, well, he's not shooting 100%. We'll just give the win to Michigan State, I think.
Yeah.
He's not perfect. Who cares?
Pack it up, boys. That was a good run by UTK, but Michigan State's gonna win it the rest of the way here. I'm actually gonna turn my monitor off here, Bepic. I don't think we need to see the rest of this.
Okay, the Great Lakes monitor, like it's like, oh, a monitor's
there we
what?
go.
How does that work? How do you will them to score in a kickoff goal like that by just threatening to turn your monitor off?
Listen, man, Mar just knows, and Rocket Man, he heard the disrespect and he said, "Not on my watch."
I mean, Mar was saying in general chat of the Monday Night Lights server that we're all in, he was like, all right, I gotta put
Hey, there he is again.
Great Lakes hopes on my back, right? I mean, he's got the assist right there. It's Rocket Man scoring, but nice cheat.
Hey, I haven't said I'm turning the monitor on. I know I can see everything that's going on. Don't think too much into it. The monitor is definitely off. It's 5-2, just under halfway gone, and I feel like we've almost seen a whole series here in the first 2 games, just with the, not necessarily the story, but the content coming out of it. Almost another Joe Bro. Effective on offense, effective on defense as well. And now Mar, he's going to find Rocket Man, who's got a couple himself. And Shaka to Crisp off the backboard. Here's not having to deal with that insanely quick counterattack from UTK. Here's Shaka and Mar up just in time. Joe Bro, the double, a little heat check maybe there. This one's not in, and now Rocket Man's gonna go low, and Michigan State get away for now. Not got the open net. Rocket Man cleared the way, and well, I could make a pun about Nox's name. I'm gonna choose not to because I've overused that joke this year. But it's 5-3 UTK, and it was 5-0 not even 2 minutes ago, Bepic.
Okay, I mean, Michigan State has showed some fights. If they can overcome a 5-goal deficit, then I'll be impressed. Until then, I'm just a little astounded that we've gotten this close to the comeback happening. That could be 4. All 3 orange cars just went at the shot from Mar. The follow-up is good. How does he hit that? What a shot by Mar.
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that Joe Bro is currently shooting 5 for 6. We mentioned it was over. The comeback's on. Michigan State has stormed back, and it is Rocket Man and Mar leading the way right now for MSU.
All right, Kung, you better give them some better head kisses like that. Any better motivation from the facility, because they are getting destroyed at the moment. That's 5. That's it. We're tied.
I said earlier, Bepic, with the Ohio Northern game that we've seen teams come back from worse. We just saw a team come back from worse.
And not only that, but they came back from being 5 goals down in a minute 20. It was 2:42 when UTK scored their 5th goal. And Michigan State has done all this work in about half of the half that they had to make the comeback happen, and that was nearly the lead as Mar kind of backflipped out of that.
Again, maybe Great Lakes copium here, but if Mar doesn't backflip, I think it's 6-5. Here's Joe Bro. He's kicked away by Knock. Nice to see the Spartans finally resisting that UTK offense that's seemingly only been, one guy, but you can't discount 4 assists for Crisp either. It's just been, it's been Joe Bro and Crisp versus Mar and Rocket Man, it feels like so far.
Well, we'll see if Shaka and Knock can show up for their teams later. Who is it going to be to stop this Michigan State run? Because that's 6 unanswered. UTK just gave up an open net to give up 6 unanswered goals in a game where Michigan State was down by 5.
I can't tell. The line's been blurred for me, Bepic, if I'm casting or cheering at this point. What a comeback so far for Michigan State. 39 seconds to go. And somebody, this game's got to be
no.
Oh, no.
You're kidding.
I was going to say this game's got to be studied, but no, that catch from Crisp needs to be analyzed. What is that?
He just read that all the way from the ceiling to the ground. He was right there to catch it. And all right, UTK has stopped the bleeding. They've slapped a little Band-Aid on a big old wound. Now, can they salvage this game and find the win? Or can Michigan State recover from having their streak ended? Though Shaka pass to nobody. Joe Bro's there for the follow-up. Is there anyone back for Michigan State? Yes, there is. Rocket Man is there, but UTK seems like they're back.
Oh, man, the way this game's going, I'm just waiting for UTK to get 4 more unanswered, because when one happens, multiple do. Here comes Joe Bro, and I called it! 7-6, a double hat trick for Joe Bro!
And we got a raid! Mr. Pyro J has sent 34 viewers our way. Jake, I can't believe you raided. I mean, thank you so much for the raid, but you just missed a 5-goal comeback. UTK was up 5-0 at the start of this game. Michigan State made it 6-5. And UTK has now taken the lead. Michigan State has to score on 0 seconds to force an overtime. We'll see what they can do. The ball is still up. Rocket Man, though, needs to get there, and he can't. Bub, that might have been the most insane game of Rocket League I have ever watched. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I want to know what the record for goals is on a Monday Night Lights show match at this point, because that's got to be close, right? I mean, holy...
13 is crazy.
5-0, and then 6-5, and then... Well, Joe Bro decided that he was going to play some Rocket League for at least a couple seconds again, and made it 7-6 UTK, but... Honestly, I can't tell if Michigan State survived, if UTK survived. Did anyone survive out of this? Like, what have we learned?
I don't, I genuinely don't know. I can say with great confidence, I have casted probably several thousand games of Rocket League. In my time as a caster, my 3.5 years, I have never seen a game like that. Ever. A 5-goal comeback, I have never seen. A 4-goal comeback, maybe, like once or twice. A 3-goal comeback, yeah, plenty. 5 goals, and then the comeback doesn't even work out. Michigan State still lost. Like, Shaka had 142 points, Bub, in a game where UTK scored 7. How does that make sense?
I can't tell you. Joe Bro, that's my only answer. At the end of the day, Joe Bro was the one who just decided who was winning and losing that game. I want to know the rest of the series plays out, because right now I feel...
Welcome back to Tuesday Night Lights, the SEL versus Great Lakes Rivalry Night, 3rd edition, and it's now down to our final 2 teams to determine if the SEL takes their 2nd rivalry night, or if the Great Lakes can take their 1st, as we tied last time. SEL won the first one. Big tiebreaker here. And I've brought in Ori to cast with me the final series of the evening. Finally, some Great Lakes representation in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Not too versed on most of these teams. Kind of recently just got brought on from the Great Lakes production, but I'm happy to be in action and happy to be casting such high-level gameplay. I am really looking forward to seeing some of the matches earlier tonight. I'm really looking forward to what these teams will bring out tonight. Kind of going in between that summer series and the fall season, maybe testing out some new players or just getting back into the swing of things.
Yep, and I think for testing out new players, that's what Buds is doing tonight. TJ kind of previewed it in the post-series talk after our last match with Rose coming in to join Monk and Buddy, and he was talking about how he may not be at the level Dylan was at just yet, the former Bud's 3rd, but I've talked to Buddy and he's very confident about the upside of this team. And then for Nichols College, I know you're very familiar with Pyros. This is a roster that's played together a decent bit, and I think they're prepared for the upcoming season very well, which is I'm very excited about this series.
Yeah, I think what was their placement in the summer series at Nichols College?
Summer series, I don't recall. I can pull up Summer Showdown real fast for the Great Lakes, just to give you an exact figure. They competed, and I know they were around top 8. Yeah, they made top 8. They made it through Swiss and went out in the quarterfinals of that bracket.
I think that they've also qualified for CRL before, or at least have gotten really close. So yeah, this is like a higher level team, and back in the day, I'd maybe say this is a RL-RS team rival series, if any of you guys remember that, but we don't have that anymore. But CRL seems to be kind of taking up that spot where you have these players that are in just below RLCS level, maybe not breaking into main event, but getting close, and seems like Nichols has been doing that. So we'll see, you know, what their game plan is here going into start the series off.
All right, away we go. Buds in blue, Nichols in orange. And my eyes are on the new 3rd for Buds, obviously being the SEL guy. I'm going to say that. And Rose has already taken a ripper of a shot on target, though it is saved by Pyros, who clears the way and tries to clear it some more, forces the defense out of the way, and Complex cleans up 1-0 Nichols.
Yeah, off to a good start. You know, you saw some aggression coming out from Buds, trying to set their own pace. You don't want to get Nichols, you don't want to let them feel comfortable, but they respond with a very quick counterattack already. 0-1 in their favor. And again, more pressure right out the kickoff from Buds, but collected calmly. The hands of the Nichols defense still not really getting it out past the midfield pass attempt, but Monk is there. Enzo doing well. Not to really go full, and maybe a bit of a miscommunication in the backline, but no one on Buds really there for it. Beautiful air dribble out, finally getting out of their own half, but they're just no boost, no one to follow. Maybe a ceiling shot attempt, tries to get it past 2, but Pyros again. You see just good patience from Nichols. They're not really diving on anything that they don't have to. There's another counter-attack opportunity. Fake attempt on the defender with low boost, but they keep it out of their net for now. Still 0-1.
Pyros is low on boost, but fuels up in the corner. He's got some space here and a couple teammates to play around, but Buds have been spacing out in the midfield fairly well. That was a close shave the last time that Nichols pieced together a counterattack. But here, it's slow goings when it comes to developing opportunities, though. That pass center, it looks decent for Nichols, but Bud's all over it. Clog the passing lane and create one of their own. That was clean.
I did not expect that shot to come out from Monk. I didn't even see him from my camera angle. That was a nice play shot, high up on the ceiling, put it just out of reach to the defender. You have to use so much boost to get that high up into the field to reach that ball, and he was already there on the wall waiting for it, tying up the game with a statement goal. And again, it's only just one best of 7. And it's good to kind of, you know, game one kind of sets the pace a little bit. You know, maybe some teams get warmed up. Maybe it's Nichols getting warmed up. Maybe it's Buds kind of getting their groove. But regardless, neither of these teams looking to have too many of those jitters that you sometimes see in game ones. Rose trying to set something up in the midfield here, but it's blocked away.
That's a nice interception. Pyros on the ball. Gonna put a shot on, maybe a dunk as well. It's the bump. Option C ends up working out for Pyros, but Bud's all the way back in defense. Full boost tanks now as Rose clears the zone. Complex stops the counterattack that the Buds were putting together. And the ball straight up and down for Complex to collect in a 1v1. Loses out to Monk, who puts it in an open net. How about that for a swing?
Complex catches the ball. Just not quite able to stay behind it. Maybe trying to fake out the defender, but none of his teammates were in the best spot and just not expecting that to kind of pinch all the way in their net. Catching the defense off guard, Buds are up 2-1. Maybe a response right off the kickoff, but no. Rose does well, rotates back in time. Maybe has a offensive attack here, leaves it for his teammate. Towards the net, Pyros does well, good 50, leaves it for his teammate, has a decent amount of space, but again, this low boost for the defense of Nichols. They're kind of, seems like, they seem calm with their positioning. They're not very double committee or scrambly, but their boost is low. They seem a bit awkward. Maybe it's just trying to soak up some pressure from Buds, maybe catch them on a overcommit like we saw earlier on that counter attack. Maybe Enzo here to start one, but can't really get the ceiling double he wants. Pyros will be there to continue the attack. Enzo threatening a bump. Pyros, though, no boost. It centers middle. Complex goes for the double tap attempt off the crossbar. Pyros there to finish it off. They respond. Tied game again.
That was so close to brilliance from Complex, but it works out. And I'm sure Complex wanted the double, but won't be displeased with a nice cleanup by Pyros. And 2-2, going back and forth here. I mean, both sides have had their quality looks, and both defenses have stepped up when they need to. Here, off kickoff, Rose again, the opportunist, nearly putting a shot on target. Very much involved with their new roster, and it's looked good. Bud's solid so far, but Pyros and Nichols College looking right there with them as Complex was waiting for that ball to try and take a shot, but waited just a bit too long.
Maybe a shot here off the ceiling pass, but no, Pyros was there ready for it. And he react quick though, pops up middle, maybe dangerous, but it's 50 away just barely, and no one on Nichols to pounce on this right away. Enzo is 0 boost, gets the flip reset to the corner. Complex is there, but Monk waiting patiently again. Rose now low boost this time, maybe Nichols mounting some pressure on Bud's half. Flip reset fake from Pyros, trying to get it around the defender, pops it, but just too high. Monk there to clean it up, but they still cannot get this ball out of their corner. Buddy trying to get something to go here. Big 50 pop up, not really the way that he wanted that to go. Ceiling bounce, not finding its way middle. Enzo can't get much to go. Still a tied game with low amount of time. Maybe there's an opportunity. Buddy with low boost makes the save. Enzo for the follow-up shot is blocked again. And they stay alive. The ball's still in their half. And finally, maybe no, but that's not on target.
Oh, no way. The Buds just survived all of that. And it's still going. Enzo an opportunity to end this attack for Nichols College, but it's Monk that ends up ending it himself with a clear. 20 seconds left. The last 60, I think Bud spent in defense, and they won't concede yet. Unbelievable performance on the goal line, and even now, Pyros, he's actually going to get it in. 14 seconds to go. Nichols College had so much possession, but finally, it goes in.
Just, it seemed that last, I mean, we still have 14 seconds left. This kickoff is still very crucial. Maybe some shenanigans happen. Kickoff strats. That's a overcommit maybe from Nichols. A 1v3 temporarily, but Enzo blocks away the air dribble attempt. There's a shot coming through. Enzo stays in front. Monk shot there! And he baits out the entire defense. Shot after shot, they crumble. And we have a tie game yet again.
Unbelievable contrast of a final 2 minutes, with Nichols having 90 seconds of full pressure, only to score at the last of those seconds. And then it takes 10 for Buds at GSU to respond. Great shot by Monk, great pressure set up by Buddy and Rose, and on 0 seconds, a chance to win it! Nichols College score on 0, negate the equalizer, Monk just scored, and they take game 1.
I was about to talk about how the last 90 seconds, what you said, felt like kind of saying, you know, it wasn't what most of the game was like. Nicholas actually was mostly, it felt like on defense, kind of low boost, stuck in their own half. But towards the latter half of that game, they had pretty much all the pressure in the world, and then, I mean, they still end up winning the game. But they had 3 goals in the span of about 20 seconds at the end of that game. That was
insane way to end game 1. I'm hoping the rest of the series goes that way as well. But Monk, look at that. Hat trick. Plus 4 saves. And then 5 shots tossed in there. Buds combined 9 shots, but Nichols College putting up 14. Pyros scoring 2 of the 4 they found, putting up 888 points. Big display from him as well. Right now, it's the tale of the 2 stars on either side. And that's how Buds have been in the past, with Monk being the guy to lead the charge in offense. And Pyros, I think, for those that follow Nichols College, know that he is the guy still to lead the charge for them. That was the tale of game 1, at least when it came down to the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I mean, it was Pyros to initially tie the game, or get that goal off that pressure that put them up by 1, and then I think it was Complex, yeah, scored 0 seconds to keep them there. And I mean, Pyros on top of the scoreboard, as you expect, as they continue off from last game, scoring right away. Pyros with the carry, just more pressure. You just see a lot more involvement compared to most of the first game here from Nicholas. Maybe they're starting to heat up a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, that was a pair of clean beats in the corner. Enzo set it up, and it was a nice beat on the goal line as well to knock the play down. Nichols with an early lead now, but Buds trying to apply some pressure themselves. Buddy's got some space here. Not a really good position of the ball for him to take full control, and so just has to give it up. Enzo with control now, takes a nice 50-50. Knew he had no boost, so used the broad side of his Fennec to get the ball away, but Rose passed back to Monk. Actually, passed to themselves to Monk into the back of the net. What a play by Buds.
Just a slight lapse in the defensive rotation, 2 players maybe caught up going for the same ball, kind of an awkward scenario, and just like that, they're able to set up a passing play in between 2 people, trusting their teammate to stay upfield like that, put it right on top of his car, bar down and in. Bud's beautiful response to the little team play of their own.
Monk's got the on-ball ability. If you put it in his direction, he'll make good things happen. And Rose may not have been with this roster for very long, but they obviously know that Monk can do magical things on the ball. But now, can he get out of this 3v1, essentially? Complex made it a 1v1. Monk was able to get out, get some help from Buddy. Pyros, upon the attempted clear by Buds, takes over the play. He can't do much else. The ball is stuck on the sideline. So Monk clears it away, puts it on a slightly open net, and Pyros is back in time to save.
Yeah, and you were talking about Pyros earlier. I think last game he finished that game with 800 points, and I think the only person that had in the same league was Monk. And I'm pretty sure combined they had more points than everybody else in the lobby combined. So these 2 players are just playing at such a high level. It just seems that whichever one of them maybe is doing the most in that game will probably come out on top. Even though it felt like Nicholas maybe had that game down, it was still down to the last second and then some at 0 before we had a winner in that game. So good bump play, but Complex not able to finish it off. Enzo trying to start something here for Nicholas. Trying to look to keep up that pressure. Pyros not letting it get past his midfield line. Drops it down. Nobody there. Maybe a counterattack, but no, it's saved away. Cleared. But again, just still not a lot of breathing room for Nicholas. Having maybe a little bit of problems clearing this out. A bit awkward on the goal line. There's a shot, but no, it's saved away.
Well, Buddy tried to fake challenge Enzo, but Enzo plays patient. He's able to flick on target. It's high. Monk will keep it high as well. Or Pyros rather, look to follow up. That challenge is taken up into the air. Buds find a counterattack. The 2 commit 4. Buddy and Monk both going for the same ball. And now it's up to Rose to kind of salvage possession for the Buds at GSU. And they do very, very well, keeping the play in the corner, which both teams are fighting over the ball in this same corner. Looks like Nichols have some space by way of Pyros. What's new? A demo up in front, attempted, but doesn't matter. It zones Buddy off the play, and Pyros finishes what Enzo set up for him.
I was about to comment on this before this even happened, but it seems that Nichols are a lot more comfortable catching and dribbling the ball. I haven't seen these kind of slower, more patient dribble 1v1-esque plays coming out from Buds, but as I was about to say that, there's Pyros, takes it slow in his corner, fakes out a defender, does well the time to flicker on the last one, and almost 1v3s their entire team with the help of Enzo on the demo attempt. They just seem a lot more comfortable, a lot more aware of when to control. They trust their mechanics just a little bit more than Buds, and Buds are seeming to try to play everything fast. Kind of 2 sides of the same coin. Just seems that whichever one's playing their side better seems to be having advantageous spots. There's Powers to the dribble again, gets it past one, almost fakes it on the defender again. That was almost back-to-back solo plays from Pyros, but not to be. They do keep their 1-goal lead. Maybe as long as this attack happens, that was dangerous out in front, but nobody there to finish off the shot.
Oh, and Complex plays the ball off of Buddy, and then through Monk as well, who bumps Rose. It's awkward for Buds. Complex forced a lot of that, but they still find a way-ish out. Complex, a nice dunk, keeps Nichols in the driver's seat. Enzo is going to drive them right into a 3rd goal. 3-1, Nichols taking over in game 2.
That's just an awkward scenario on the wall, kind of floating just out of reach for, I think that was Monk. I think he wanted to catch that and then flip it, maybe pop it into an air dribble, but it's just slightly out of reach, and maybe his team expecting him to get more than 1 touch there left it, and awkward scenario in front of the net. Nichols capitalized maybe right again off the kickoff air dribble bump attempt. Blocked away. Buddy trying to pass it middle. They're going to need a goal here soon if they want a chance to stay alive in this game. Monk advancing, but just not enough boost in the tank. Pyros has to clear down to his teammate. Shot attempt. Rose is there. Beats the dunk attempt. Now maybe a bit of an overcommit. Numbers advantage in favor of GCU. They shoot it right at Pyros on the backboard, though. That will not be, but they still have some offense. Pass out in front. Rose is there to finish. Rose making it only a 1-goal game.
I love this field vision right here for Monk. He takes over in the corner. There are 2 orange cars to split between. And instead of trying to dish it in and get through Pyros on the near side, he realizes he has an easy way out of the situation by just popping it mid for Rose. And Rose is right there in a great position as well. And Bud's now having a go at this late game comeback. After the end of game 1, I could very well see Bud's coming back here and then losing their lead and then maybe coming back again.
But maybe it's just enough to tie the game. That was an opportunity maybe if that was on target. Low boost on the side of Nichols here on defense. Both Enzo and Pyros 0. They do manage to keep the ball out of their net for the last remaining seconds of the game, which is all they really have to do. Maybe Monk on this air dribble attempt tries to get it around Complex, but he can't stay next to the ball. 0 seconds now. We saw it in game 1. Will it happen in game 2? It stays up. Rose doesn't have the resources to reach that ball again, and Nichols, by their skin of their teeth, win game 2.
All right. I mean, still, late game heroics. I don't think any lead is safe at this point in this series so far. Super close there, but Nichols finding a way to win close games so far in this best of 7. 9 shots to 10, 3 to 2, saves were about even as well. I mean, Buds and Nichols are maybe the closest matchup we've had tonight, maybe save for Texas and Indiana Tech, but so far, 2-game lead for Nichols. They have found ways to win the close games, and now they've got a bit of a buffer to work with as their reward.
It's interesting because you could have a series like this end 0-4.
Yeah.
But it would never feel like a sweep. All of these games have come down to the final seconds, and it could have gone either way each time, but I've always been told that good teams always find a way to win, and if you're always winning, even if it's by just a hair's length, 4-0 is 4-0. Maybe not to be here. Buds getting off on a strong foot like they did in game 1, 1-0 right away, but this is the problem with these early game leads, is how you have basically an entire game left to play still. Still a 1-goal lead for them, though.
Oh, yeah. I bet they'll take the 1-goal lead for sure. And it's so strange. as Buddy tried to make it too, that Rose has won the opening kickoff in one way or another in every game so far. Odd pattern, I'll get back to it later, as Nichols College has just responded immediately. It's Enzo set up by a bad touch by Monk. He tried to win the race to the side wall and ends up setting up his opponent for an equalizer.
I think maybe he was expecting, just trying to buy time for maybe a teammate to get behind him, but I think they were kind of all just stranded out with no boost, not really able to get back into play quick enough. Rose, maybe on the offensive. Can't quite get anything. Pyros is right there. That's a big bane out. Maybe he gets the beat on the defender on the backboard, but no. That's actually a pass out in front. If Rose can get to it, just barely can't. Monk is there to follow. Can't get the double off the corner. Now an opportunity for Nicholas. They bang it downfield. Pyros there. So back and forth for both of these teams, using every inch of the field. That was almost disastrous for Buds there. Lose that 1-goal lead so quickly, but kept away off their goal. And there's another passing play opportunity. Pyro slots it top left. Nicholas, again, just kind of back how we've been seeing them for this series.
Nicely done. Complex and Pyros again combining with a nice passing play. And the placement on that shot as well is pristine. It's not fast, but it's accurate. That's all that Pyros needed right there. And it gives Nichols another lead. Or not another lead in this game, I suppose. They've claimed their first lead here. Pyros adds to it.
Goodness.
What a play off the ceiling again. The superstar for Nichols College comes up huge.
That touch when he jumped off, the single jumped off the ceiling to touch it down to the backboard around the defender that was free jumping him. He needed to time that and touch that basically perfectly to get that double tap, and he did. And at that point, there's only so much you can do on the defense when the person on the ceiling has that much control over the ball. You just have to pick a shot, and you have to block off an angle. And Pyros, despite what was a good pre-jump, gets it around the defender, makes it a 2-goal lead, which is what is really important about that big statement goal. And when you get those mechanical outplays, it's such a momentum swing for the series in general, regardless of the scoreline, to just get that monstrous goal is such a good boost to your mental, and on the other side, it's just so frustrating to go up against it.
And to feel confident enough to talk in chat as well after scoring that. And Pyros, that will likely be a Twitter clip for me. Thank you very much. 1v1, Complex, putting Rose into a tough spot, but they make the save. Enzo sets up the third man, and Pyros steps up to finish the playoff. 4-1, and we're only 2 minutes in, not even.
Yeah, hat trick already for Pyros. We still have way over half the game left, so you know, maybe they'll try to widen this scoreline gap. Maybe we see a comeback from Buds. Maybe they just try to play a little bit more passive, keep it 1-4, or maybe not with kickoffs like that. Kickoff strategy not really going to as planned. Pyros on the ball again, maybe another goal, but no, he will not be brought to 4, saved away by Monk. And yeah, I think it's just damage control right now for Buds in this game, already down so much off of amazing plays from not just Pyros, but their team in general. Maybe just trying to recover the mental, trying to keep themselves in a good headspace. Enzo making it 5-1.
This is looking rough. I think right now my statement in between games 2 and 3 that no lead is safe in this series might be being tested just a little bit at the moment. There is more than half a game left to play, so in theory, the Buds can come back here, but Nichols are making it as difficult as possible with just brilliant play after brilliant play. Pyros supplying us an impressive display of mechanics. Enzo and Complex getting in on the action as well at times. And, I mean, game 3 is theirs. They would honestly have to throw it away.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen with this much time left. You know, maybe all Buds need to do is just break through the defensive line, get a goal, maybe a mechanical goal of their own, and things can change. And it has to be tilting to be losing this bad in game 3, where if they do lose, they're going to have to go up against a reverse sweep against Nicholas, which I don't really think any team is going to feel comfortable in. But the games that they lost were not without, they were within their arm's reach 1,000,000%. Yep. They lost to a 0-second goal in game 1, and in game 2 had an opportunity to score one of their own, but they just weren't able to put it away. They had the game tied with 7 seconds left, and it just slipped through their fingers multiple times. And maybe that's just been the small edge that Nichols has had. I think maybe just with the experience of Pyros, who's been in, you know, clutch scenarios so many times, able to keep his team calm and comms, keep his nerves collected, and I think that might have been. It's just all the little things in this game just add up, and I think that might have been one of the little things.
Well, it's a big thing in Game 3.
Yeah, it is a big
5-1,
thing.
4-goal lead for Buds to surmount, and at the moment, they've had chances, just kind of half chances, not really good, but there if they can really execute on them. That one was a pretty decent one. Enzo fired a missile that Nick was able to save, and the Buds' credit, they've been able to make difficult saves at times. Unfortunately, just gave up way too much possession and pressure and opportunities for Nichols. 14 shots in the first 4 minutes and 20 seconds here, and I would be surprised to see Nichols add on to it, especially with a double commit out of Buds in the midfield. But he actually salvaged the play fairly nicely.
And maybe it's Pyros again. Nope, goes missing. Won't matter too much here. Not much time left. You know, anything can happen, but with Nichols having the ball possession right now, not a lot of boosts to go around the team of Buds. Starting out from their own corner. 15 seconds and 4 goals. Maybe not quite it. Maybe they get a consolation one here. Top right, that's not on target. Pyros gonna get hit out. Rose will get the touch. Pass blocked away. And they just cannot get anything to go. They're throwing everything that they have, all their players at the ball. They cannot even get a shot for their efforts. Nichols, that was a very big statement win in Game 3. Setting themselves up to potentially sweep Buds. And, I mean, that's kind of the confidence maybe that you want for Nichols going into the fall season. And for Buds, maybe you said they had some roster changes. Maybe they can look at some of these games in this series as replay reviews and use that to figure out maybe some kinks that they have as a team.
Well, I'd hope so. That's what these show matches are for, and Buds I don't think are out of it just yet. As we've been talking about, games 1 and 2 extremely close. Came down to final 10-second plays in both of them, and that one was a bit of a wash. So you have games like those, but how you recover from them. Going into Game 4, Buds have to recover now, as Nichols, by way of Pyros a lot of the time, he has flexed his mechanical muscles a lot in this series, and Complex and Enzo play very well around Pyros. I have to give them all the credit that they're due, but Buds have to find a way to shut down Pyros. If they do that, there is absolutely a chance for them to find a way back in this best of 7. But at the moment, still struggling a bit. This should be an open net. Never mind, the ramp had other ideas.
Yeah, sometimes that fourth defender goes a long way. But you say shut down Pyros as if that's going to be easy. And as we've seen, even in scenarios where he's in a 1v3, it doesn't seem like that they're ever in a comfortable spot whenever he's on the ball. So far, has been quiet, although we did just start. Only just barely over a minute gone by. There's Monk with a solo play of his own. Pyros is not the only person in the lobby that has mechanical skill. Monk showing signs of life for Buds, and they really did need a goal like this in this Game 4.
I wouldn't mind this turning into, like, the Monk-led Buds versus the Pyros-led Nichols show. Like, that's what it was in Game 1, essentially. And since then, that rivalry narrative has kind of dissipated a bit as Rose sets up Monk for a second, and all right, just like that, Monk has infused this team with the first goal. Rose kind of infused that second one, but either way, Monk's 100% goal participation has helped Buds claim a 2-goal lead.
And here we go, maybe a game win for Buds in the horizon. They've always had these early game leads though, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure every single game this series so far, obviously they've lost, they've had the lead to start out the game with, whether it was 1 or 2 goals, and they always got off to such an early start, first minute, and they just weren't able to hold on to it. Maybe they try to change up their game plan a little bit, maybe play a little bit more safe when they do have this kind of lead, and with Rocket League, your opponent has to do something to score. You can be patient, and Nichols they're gonna have to get risky if you want to go up and even tie this game. It's not just a 1-goal game where, again, it only takes 1 chance. You need 2. So maybe we see something where they're just trying to kind of secure a game here. Maybe they stay tenacious and widen the lead, but regardless, starting off on the right foot.
More pressure to add on to that correct foot forward, though. It's going to be countered by an extreme double commit. Buddy and Rose still working out some of the rotational kinks, it seems, and well, Enzo was all over that play.
The entire lobby. I think the entire lobby was up for that ball.
Wow.
From what I saw, that was a bit silly.
Well, fair enough. It's a 2-1. Buds leads still, but Nichols College will cut in to that lead that the Buds gained very early on. And Mr. Pyro J, welcome in. Thank you for the raid, Jake. I appreciate you. Welcome in, everybody, coming from Pyro J's stream. This is Tuesday Night Lights, the brother of Monday Night Lights, if you've ever come through on a Pyro raid before on a Monday evening. It's collegiate show matches. This is the Southeastern Esports League versus the Great Lakes CRL Conference. So, North versus South, essentially here. Final series of the night, Nichols College in a handy position to close out this series, but Buds with a lead at the halfway point of Game 4. We'll see if they can add on to it here.
Got attempt maybe. No, it saved away Monk. The first one on that ball. Huge for his team. Nobody was there if that was shot on target. Big pinch out. Huge open pocket in the field here. Foot race to it. Complex is up first. Buddy there thankfully on the back line not to let this game get out of hand, as it's happened time and time again for them. They're just not able to hold on to these leads. Pyros goes on to one. Maybe bumps the last defender. Enzo's there for the shot. Enzo puts it away, and who is it but Pyros again? I don't know how many times I've had to say his name tonight. He just seems to be creating so much for this team, whether it be offense, defense, passing, what have you. He has been there when his team needed him the most.
It is a sin that Rocket League didn't count that as an assist for Pyros. I'm just going to say it. The Rocket League game client needs to personally apologize for that, as he deserved the assist points for that play. Incredible work to get Nichols College level. And with under 2 minutes left to play, we're heating up again. I'm feeling the rumblings of Game 1 and 2, where we saw so many goals in the final couple of minutes. And Enzo, of course, will provide again.
That is a nasty angle. He had to hit it around the defender as well. Getting a hand up didn't matter. And now Nicholas, 3 straight to respond to Buds scoring 2 right off the gate. And like I said, they seem to be getting these early game leads, but they're just not able to keep up with the momentum of Nicholas. It just seems as soon as Nicholas take that lid off, it's just when it rains it pours. And right now, Buds are drowning. And they don't have any oxygen left after this game. It's over.
All right, and it's been the middle of the game as well. Like you said, that has been a struggle for Buds. They win the early games, and then the middle of the game, and, well, the late game as well, I think, has escaped them with the 0 seconds, final 10-second plays out of Nichols. And right here, maybe final 60. Buddy, though, on the back wall, going to get back to the play in time to prevent Nichols from adding another to their beginning to grow lead. Enzo pass down. Rose dunked by Pyros, and Nichols College get one step closer to putting this series to bed.
They're shutting the door on their foot right now. It's not fully closed. There's a crack, but it's getting smaller and smaller. The light at the end of the tunnel is getting farther and farther away for Buds. They were up in this game 2-0, and again 4 straight, maybe 5, but no, that saved away. They actually have a lot of space here, but oh my goodness, this corner bounce. These corner bounces for them have just not been in their favor. That's about the 3rd time I can think of in just this game where they had a wide open net if that ball had just bounced it over them.
Unfortunate. Sometimes these kinds of series just don't go your way, and Nichols College have outplayed Buds at times, but so close, so often, and Nichols College just knew how to win in those clutch moments, in those tight quarters plays, and Pyros knows how to create space. Buddy's going to take it away, get the ball to Monkney, Rose to the back wall, and nothing's there. Buds have to find something here, and that you felt kind of had to be it. Nichols College will sweep the Buds at Georgia State. Enzo will add one for the road, and the Great Lakes beat the SEL for the first time in an SEL versus Great Lakes rivalry night.
Yeah, and it was going to come down to game differential as well, I'm pretty sure, if Nicholas won. So the fact that they swept is, that's really good when you're trying to go win by game differential like that. And I called it in game 2. You have these closer games. It can still be a sweep, but at the end of the day, the series score and the game differential is not going to care if it was 1-goal games or 5-goal games. The sweep's a sweep.
Exactly, and it was. And Nichols College, they bring out the brooms, and they unfortunately end the stream a little early. I was hoping we'd go a little bit longer, but
that raid yeah. Well, you guys caught the tail end of the series, but
that's all right. I know the Pyro J viewers will be back at some point. We'll pass the raid along after this series is done. And Brave, here's to make up for all the postures and hydrates and everything that you threw my way at the beginning of the series. Cheers, you deserved it. Great Lakes, they win for the first time in the rivalry night. And Ori, I mean, your first time on Tuesday Night Lights, you get to experience a Great Lakes win.
Yeah, I feel proud for, the Great Lakes College to be able to win in these show matches. Obviously, I participated a lot in Nichols winning. I was their cheerleader, even though they could not hear me. I was there in spirit.
There in spirit, absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to move on along. I'm going to raid Frontal Pandas live, so I'm going to toss him a raid. Make sure you go support like you did tonight. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Tuesday Night Lights this Saturday. Please tune into the Mr. Bepic stream for the first high school showcase. We're taking Tuesday Night Lights to the high school realm. So tune in for that. It's going to be a very, very fun evening. More information to come about that later in the week. And then next Tuesday again, Tuesday Night Lights, will be back on the Bepic stream. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all my wonderful production crew tonight. All right, thanks for joining me for our final series of the evening. All the players for playing and all the viewers for watching. I'm Mr. Bepic. I'll see you later. Peace out.